And welcome to Game Changer World. My name is John Wolf, and tonight our East Coast correspondent Frankie will be co-hosting in B's place for this episode. How you doing tonight, Frank?
Yes, we're like the East Coast Express, but older, fatter, and only slightly more high.
That's not bad. Not bad.
Did I say East Coast Express? Fuck. 2 minutes
threw
in,
me off, Frankie. Dr. Redacted, how you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good, and I'm happy to be here.
Oh, that's the way I like to hear it right there. Listeners are pouring in like crazy clown. West Coast correspondent, great one. Nice to see you in here. James, the Crow Fairy Tale. Jeez Louise. ZM Zoe, Nucci, Grim. What's up, guys? Welcome to everyone in here. Yeah, the East West Midwest Express is here tonight. That's kind of the way to put it. I like that.
Close enough.
Close enough. All right. So if you get a chance, please, like I always say, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you want notified when we go live. Super chats are available if you want to donate. And as always, thank you so much for those who chose to spend time with us tonight. Sit down and relax. You're amongst friends. We do have a lot to cover. This will be a great show. So I think we should just get started with the news. You guys ready to roll?
Let's go.
All right, let's go through a couple real quick announcements here. Last week, a new GCW tour flyer went out across all social media with the new updates here. Check out GCW's Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram page for that flyer. On June 22nd, at GCW's Take a Picture from Kansas City, Missouri, Too Cold Scorpio has been announced to challenge Effie for the GCW World Championship. Okay, that's a shocker. Happy to see him back in rotation. Last I heard, his trial was pushed out to November. So all I have to say is make your money, Too Cold. You guys have anything to say on Too Cold?
I forgot he was on trial.
Dude, I forgot too. Too Cold Scorpio is that guy who's like back then didn't get enough credit, did the craziest shit that, especially at that time, people were like, and like still to this day, the guy who just fucking kills it.
Yeah, dude, he killed it in WWF. I think it was at that time. WCW. The majors were not ready for him.
No.
Yeah, they really weren't.
So then moving on, GCW just announced their upcoming Summer Smash weekend, which will take place in Rutherford, New Jersey. That will be on the first weekend in August. On Friday, August 1st at 8 p.m. GCW's Hit 'em Up. Later that night at midnight, JCW's Powder Keg. Moving on, Saturday, August 2nd, GCW and Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 14 will commence. That will be a 1 p.m. start time. Something tells me that 1 p.m. start time will be rough on some people who will attend that midnight show. Frankie, we've talked about that before.
That's will probably have to be made that weekend, and it might have to be Bloodsport, but you know.
Oh man. Then late at 11 p.m. that night, Emo Fight is back. Tickets are on sale now for all of those events. GCW has finally announced its return to Japan on July 28th at Shinjuku Face, July 29th, Tokyo Square, July 30th, Korakuen Hall. So far, the shows are featuring Effie, Shotzi, Blackheart, Atticus, Matt Tremont, Masha Slamovich, Drew Parker, one called Manders, Microman, Price, Oliver, and others. If anyone's interested, I did some math. We had some questions on this. Front row on night one at Shinjuku Face is 10,000 yen. That's $69.99 US dollars.
That's cheaper than Atlantic City.
Well,
get on that.
So let's talk about this for a second. On average, Japan is about 30% cheaper than America, just on average. There, some places are more expensive, some things are less expensive. So $69.99, you add 30%, we're talking, you know, about $100, which is about what you get in LA for a front row. Night two, night three, 12,000 yen front row, $83.99 US dollars. So now you're really talking, you're going to the bigger house.
$84 for front row at Korakuen is a steal. I'm getting my airplane tickets right now. Help me, Christ, because I have to fly out of Newark.
Dude, showing Korakuen is like the coolest thing ever, too.
So you can talk to us about that a little bit, can't you?
I could. I've been there once, but it was awesome. It was just like cool, like getting in there and just seeing the building. It was like Hammerstein. It was like you just looked over, you're like, I remember watching this here or that there, and the Tokyo Square venue, if you are gonna go, it's very small. So every seat's a good seat. Get there while you can.
Ooh, this is one of those every seat is a front row seat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then TOS and COS weekend is upon us. Frank, you're the guy who knows this whole area. You've been to double digits of shows at the Showboat. You
Yes.
live and breathe Jersey.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for people coming from out of town? I want to first start with hotels. Do you have some advice regarding the hotel situation?
The boat. Stay at the boat. The hotel is the whole experience of being at an Atlantic City GCW show. You stay at the Showboat. You get that whole experience. The one thing I will tell you though is you park at the Ocean because it's much cheaper, and then you just schlep everything over next door. Like park at the Ocean for $15 instead of getting fleeced for like 30 something a day at the Showboat. So, and then stay on property. It's just so much easier when you can just walk down just get on the elevator, go downstairs, and you're right there in the venue already.
It's literally the best thing ever.
Yes. It's so easy. You'll be in your room and you'll look at your watch, say, "Oh, doors are in 5 minutes," and then you just go and you're there already.
Oh, I love that. Man. Okay, we covered the hotel situation. Then what about the parking situation getting to the hotel?
It's like it's the Ocean is literally the next hotel over. If you remember, what was it, War Games last year? How they're out in the backyard. That parking garage that you saw across from Hard Camp is the Ocean garage. So it's literally not even a block away. That's always the move, and I will scream that from the high heavens. Don't park at the Showboat, please.
Gotcha. All right, so this is for both of you. I'm going to start with the good doctor here. What have you found for good food around the Showboat area?
Man, that's a good question. What is it? That casino next door? I think it's the Hard Rock. At night, they have
the Hard Rock.
Decent spot. You're going to spend money no matter what. This time, am I going to go to a Rainforest Cafe just for the bit? Yeah, I'm gonna. Also, I think like 10 minutes from there's a Wawa. So if you have a drive, like a car, I said a ride, just go drive, go get that.
Okay.
The Wawa in Brigantine is
really,
was
like,
my
if you're
life
okay
sentence.
with spending like.
Oh no, go ahead, Doc. Sorry.
If you're okay with spending exuberant amounts of money, no, it's okay. If you're okay with spending large amounts of money on things, everything is okay. Everything's decent, but
yeah,
Wawa or bust.
I will co-sign that. If you have a car, just go get Wawa. It's literally across the bridge over to Brigantine. It's 2 blocks in. Go get food there. Yeah. If you don't have a car, go next door to the Hard Rock Hotel. Their food court has like a 24-hour pizza place. It's serviceable. You'll get nourishment.
That's what it is. It's convenient. Yeah. The pizza was actually way bigger than I expected. It just had too much flop. For my pizza experts out there, too much flop.
Yeah. But otherwise, food, it's gonna be just like hell, get Uber Eats. Just get something. Just get good pizza. Get local pizza. Don't get shitty chain pizza.
You're in New Jersey. Just try to make it.
Oh, we got to fuck sheets already.
Here we go. Jim, Grim, can we please not bring the gas station wars into here?
Okay, so we won't let that bleed in very much tonight. I want to put this one up real quick, and I want either advice on this. King's Pub on Tennessee Ave has the best wings in the city. Any talk there?
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna have to confirm this weekend.
There you go. Throw that one maybe in the search engine when you get a chance.
As a wing connoisseur, I will look into this.
I forget the name of it.
Here.
There's a pizza place. Tony's. Yeah, I think Tony's Baltimore was the one I was thinking of.
There you go, guys. There's another one. Let's see what else we have here, because at this point, it's worth helping people out. The 7-Eleven on Atlantic Ave gets wild. So if you want entertainment. Okay. Yeah, great one says we need the good gas station food in Vegas. We don't have that culture in Las Vegas really too much.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tony Baltimore Grill, if you're wild, it's open 24/7.
Yes.
You're okay, yeah. So then
I was there at 2 a.m. with a group of 9 people a couple months back. So yes, I can confirm that is. They'll give you the weirdest side eye, but the pizza's good.
Okay, so here's what's up. I'm just gonna tell you, man. I got like $20 to go for like a day, and I know I might not get one of my meals. Where's the best place I can take $20, man?
Wawa.
One in doubt.
What about
Wawa
you?
out. Yeah.
Wawa.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Wawa.
I'm just talking for my people who don't have, tons of money on them. You know what I mean? Spent the
You're
last of
not
their
gonna
money
fuck
on the
your
ride over.
If you're used to Vegas, you're thinking, oh, Atlantic City is the Vegas of the East. No, we don't have that $7 buffet culture over here. It's like $40 if you want to eat at the buffet at the Hard Rock, and it's not worth it.
There's our co-host
Not
right
worth it.
there, reporting in from work at the GCW Plant Podcast. Doc for TOS. That's B. Everyone say hi to B. Love you, guy.
B.
Love to see you, man. Frankie's doing good so far. He hasn't bitten anyone or pissed on anything all night.
And I haven't crashed the car yet. No.
Let's see here what else I have to talk about here. The next one then, let's go over the poll for first round TOS winners before we go into TOS. I had asked everyone on Twitter, listen, we're just going to look at the first round matchups. Who do you think wins? We had minimum 50 plus votes on each one. So we had just a little sampling to go through. On the first round here, we have Beastman versus Dr. Redacted versus Otis Kogar. In the lead, Dr. Redacted at 66%, Otis Kogar 32%, Beastman got one, a little bit more, he would have got 2%. So Beastman's on the board there. So we will talk about that more later when we get to it here. John Wayne Murdoch versus Mr. Danger in the first round. What do you think about that one, Frankie? Who do you think goes forward there?
Oh, there's different ways you could play that. It's, you have, Murdoch just beating him with experience, or there's always this, the up and comer, actually breaking through and beating the American ace that is the Duke, John Wayne Murdoch. So, I think experience is going to beat out over just, youth in this case. I think Duke will take it. It's just that it's so wild because you don't know what could happen based off. I had to go back and watch the March match this afternoon, and I forgot that there was two not balcony dives, but two skylift jack dives during that match.
Yeah.
During this off the scissor truck. So I'm like, if that was the second match, what's the rubber match going to be? And this was what was the stip on this one? House of Horrors?
Ooh, I can't remember off. Oh, there we go. Redacted saying yes.
It is House of Horrors.
It was House of Horrors. So that's the chain with the swinging light tubes, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So that's just glass. So, and that was sort of Danger's weakness, if I recall correctly, was just the sheer amounts of glass was just cutting them up too bad. So,
yeah. Well, for me, go ahead, buddy. I cut you off.
Oh no, I was pretty much finished saying it's just that there's so much glass. He's just gonna get cut up too bad. So,
I think that just Danger appearing the first time in TOS is a win. I'll just put it at that. So basically, I think he's already made his first or maybe even second step forward just appearing in this thing. Murdoch, if anybody's going to be a really safe worker here in this situation, and I think he's going to work Danger really well, but I still think in the end here, Murdoch goes over just because his experience is so useful in matches further down, the road here. I'm going to ask you, Redacted, play Booker for a minute here. Are you going to go with the grizzled veteran, or would you push Mr. Danger given the circumstances you see at GCW right now?
Murdoch all the way. It's one of those scenarios where if win fast, that's what he's going to have to do. The longer the match goes, the more it benefits Murdoch. Murdoch is one of those people that can just withstand so much damage, so much pain, so much everything. He gets off to it. So the longer the match goes, the more it benefits him. Maybe if this was like a non-death match, it would be the other way around. But in this scenario, it benefits Murdoch. Like if Mr. Danger can get some real early in the match, roll up out of nowhere and get the 3 that way, it's the only way he takes it. Because this is a Murdoch match all the way. And honestly, listen, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I think that first match, I think Mr. Danger got lucky. But I'm saying it's Murdoch all the way.
Very nice. Okay, so Let's move on to the Bev versus Daiju Wakamatsu. We're not going to go deep into this one, but 49% Bev, 51% Daiju. This one's broken down the middle. I think it's you were saying Redacted, it's a sleeper, correct?
I think it might be putting my match aside. I think it's going to be the match where people are like, holy shit, that was awesome. A lot of people might not know Wakamatsu. I met him in Japan. He's really nice. But he's really, really good. He can do it all too. He's really fucking good. And if I'm not mistaken,
both of them are sort of unknown quantities in modern GCW. So that I think adds a little bit.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's like Abdullah Kobayashi's young boy. So he's really good. And the Bev, I feel like, is every wrestler's favorite wrestler type guy. So this match should be fantastic.
I feel like I've heard that before too. Like he's a blue collar meat and potatoes. He's one of the ones that the wrestlers can kind of enjoy because of, his skill set and what he's doing out there. It's like, Rush is popular at their time, but it's like Rush. That's the band that the band members, other bands were listening to.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. Next, Matt Tremont, 58%, X 42%. We'll get deeper into that one here later too, but I just wanted everyone to know that there's a 50-50 on the favorite Matt Tremont, just getting through whoever X is. So, without getting into names, and we'll do that, it sounds like there's a lot of high expectations coming from fans on who X is.
It could be anybody. It could literally be anybody.
It could even be a boat.
It could be invisible.
That's a very niche reference for people. But it's the theater of the imagination is going to be leagues, head and shoulders above whatever actually happens. So it's cool to say, there's a mystery opponent, but I think sometimes that bites you in the ass when they say, who was the mystery opponent a couple of years ago? Wasn't Slade the mystery opponent a couple of years ago? And it's sort of fell flat.
I think that was last year.
Was that last year?
Yeah, that can happen sometimes. We've seen debuts fall flat, but Brett assured us in GCW's Patreon, this is someone new.
Okay.
I like that part.
Now, when we say new, do we think it's new to GCW or new to Deathmatch or both?
You know how Brett is. He didn't give you that last percent that's actually the important part, but he did say someone
the mind to go down the rabbit hole.
Absolutely. And that's what makes all this so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to the ninth man a little bit later because I have some notes on that too. So.
Oh man, we were going to go back and forth on some guesses too, so I'm looking forward to that one. Let's go
throw your guesses in the chat whichever direction the chat is. I don't know. I'm in a different box. Figure out where the chat is, then throw your guesses in there, and we'll come back to them later.
Yeah. Please do. I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say. All right, then I'll just go ahead and slip into our first show that we're going to preview this evening, GCW's Tournament of Survival 10. This is coming from the Terminal. The Terminal. I like that. The Terminal at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. First thing I'm going to say here, usually there's a tag team title defense sometimes here. There wasn't one announced. I'm guessing that's not going to happen. Wouldn't be a terrible idea, but has there been an announcement for what one of our bonus matches may be in between these?
I'm checking. I'm going to check Cage Match now because I think it's usually on there.
Redacted, do you remember if there was anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking around and I just can't remember if there was a scramble announced or something. Maybe
there's usually gonna be a scramble. That seems to be in between the second semi and the final is usually where they slip in either a big 7-man scramble or something, just something to eat up time so that the winners can get ready for the finals.
Cleanse the palate.
Yes. Good phrase. Good phrase. Me no talk good. I'm only on a podcast.
Yeah, he's here for looks.
Me go. We're in a lot of trouble.
We're fucked over here, buddy.
Good night, everybody.
That's okay. Well, Frankie holds it up for all of us around here. Standing room only tickets are still available for that show. If anybody's wanting to try to squeeze in there and get involved, definitely. I'd say show up. You're probably going to find a seat in there. The terminal is a very large place, and we got a lot of room for love in there.
Yeah, terminal's one of those rooms that really doesn't sell out. There's just GA all the way back, so don't worry about not you won't get a chair, but you'll definitely get your ass in the door. So
every seat's a good seat.
I like that it's built for growth. I do like that one thing about the terminal is that in the next 5 years, if things start really popping off, that room's built to grow.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, we are getting some very interesting ideas over here on who's coming in. And of course, Reed Harris Cooper, he always has some fun ones here.
I saw Clown has a good one.
One Man Crew, El Desperado. We've got some names.
Ron Killings would be honestly the coolest thing.
Okay. Here's another one. Oh, well, I didn't choose it yet, but the new Hayabusa would be just very wow. Not happening, but very wow if that did. Okay. So I'm just marking a couple of these. I'm so sorry, guys. It's like dead air, but it's not dead air here. Okay. Let's move into the first round and talk just a little bit about this sleeper match that you were talking about, Redacted, the Bev versus Daiju Wakamatsu. I'll say it again. I wasn't counting on either of these men being in the tournament, so their announcements were a surprise. This is the first time that they've met in singles competition. I don't have anything to go off of history wise, but the first meeting is in the first round of the Tournament of Survival. So you've had 3 singles matches with the Bev, 2 in NHB, 1 in RPW. You've never met Daiju in ring. Are you interested in maybe wrestling him down the road?
It'd be great. I'd be all for it.
And you were saying there's he may have a teacher that he's underneath.
I believe Abdullah Kobayashi is like his mentor.
Okay. Oh, God, that's vicious. Wouldn't that be nice to put on your resume?
Don't quote me on that though, but I think so. Okay. Yeah.
What about the Bev? What's your read on the Bev? You've been across the ring from him 3 times.
He's a human cartoon character. He's seriously like the best.
But good overall. You guys click pretty well together.
I think I'm frozen over here.
You're on a little bit of a delay, but you're good. Yeah.
Old.
He might be catching up.
All right, try again.
How you doing there, Redacted? Oh. You good, buddy? Oh, he's on a delay.
Yeah.
Let's hold off just a little bit. I think we'll have him clear up. Talk when you're ready, buddy. We'll see what we can do. So the Bev grew up about 20 minutes northeast from where I grew up. My area of the country severely depressed, so I'm always a fan of anyone who can work their way out. I've seen less than about 10 matches total with the guy, and what I've seen from No Holds Barred especially has been quality. What's your read on the Bev, Frankie?
Same as you. It's like I've caught him on an ICW show here and there. But like I haven't seen him consistently enough to say like, oh, he's this, that, the third thing. He's very much an unknown to me just because we don't see him. I think the last time we saw him consistently in GCW was when he was part of 440, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe so.
It's been a minute, so it's we got Graham over here in the corner saying the Bev is fucking nuts. So I mean, I'm gonna go into this ready to be surprised rather than go watch someone's entire match library and then just not enjoy the match because I've seen it all already. Blame me for being an uninformed wrestling fan, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, Redacted, what do you think, buddy? I think he's got the greatest stare in the world right now. I think he's trying his best. The poor guy's in his car trying his best.
He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen for now. Jump out and jump back in if you can. That may help. That may not. We'll find out here in a little bit. We haven't seen Daiju in a GCW ring since December 31st of 2023, which was his GCW debut against John Wayne Murdoch. He worked 2 other JCW shows that same night. The first was on a team with Emerson Jane versus Cole Radrick and Tara Zepp. Then later worked the JCW Battle Bowl Battle Royal. Outside of that, we really haven't seen much of Daiju before. Anything else you wanted to kind of mention about Daiju before we moved on?
I was gonna say something, and then I realized, wait, nope, that's not him. That was some other Japanese wrestler that I don't want to be confusing him for. So I will hold my tongue. I was about to confuse him for Katsumata. I'm like, nope, that's not him. That's someone different.
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you this much here. I kind of had a little outside the box idea. Instead of having redacted Kogar Beastman, I would have considered having the Bev Daiju Wakamatsu Beastman and let redacted and Kogar kind of go alone in singles action. I think partially because redacted has his own thing going on at GCW and Otis has his own thing going on at GCW. And I think both are going to be booked for the long term here, at least for the foreseeable next couple months. I don't see where I wouldn't want to have those two showcased and just let Beastman then again go over there with Bev and Wakamatsu and kind of just,
Beastman is sort of an also ran in that match.
Okay.
No offense to the guy, but like he doesn't have a story hook at the moment that would make him a good inclusion besides, oh, it's a tournament and there's there's no setups, blah blah blah. It's like I said, it's just he's there. So it like I said, it does make better sense for Beastman to be in that Bev Daiju match rather than being with Otis and Doc, but I'm not the guy with the pencil, so I can't really say, say one way or another.
I shot a little message over to Redacted. I think he's just trying to do his best. He's in his car. You know what I mean? He looked like he was almost in a parking garage, which is not the easiest place to get a signal. So As soon as he comes back in, I'm going to bring him back on the screen immediately.
Let's see who else we got here.
Okay.
I'm just checking the chat to see what else we got here.
Dude, chat is fucking awesome tonight. They're having their own fucking like conversation going on. I love it.
Oh, I said we do have a scramble for TOS night. I think it was announced on the Patreon.
We can talk about that right there. Watch Beastman be the dark horse in the match and win. That is very possible.
It's very possible, yeah.
In Japan. Japan had that deathmatch tournament. He went like 3 fucking rounds, beat some of my favorites too. He's a threat. He wasn't a threat a year ago when he was on JCW.
He was he was just a guy on a JCW match, and that was back when we were calling JCW match like shows like minor league derisively, but that he did an amazing 180 in Japan, and he's done so well since then. So yeah,
so I'm going to ask you,
Beastman squash schlock, and it was nuts. Yeah,
I want to ask you real quick then, between the Bev and Wakamatsu, who goes over in that match?
I think it's going to be Bev.
Okay. That's actually who I had going over to. I figured the Bev would be moving on. He's a little more connected to GCW, so the win would mean more to him in the long term.
And if they were going to bring Bev back more regularly, it would make more sense for him to get the win, because I don't see outside of Rena being the UV champ and having the belt and coming over every other month or so, I don't see many more Japanese imports coming over as regularly like that all the time. So
yeah, well, this was also brought up by Jacob real quick.
Speak of the devil, and he appears.
Is he back? I don't see him right here.
No, Beastman in chat.
Oh, Beast. There we are right there. Hey, buddy, I wanted to let you know that my mom was born in Wheeling, West Virginia. It's kind of funny. And I lived like 2 counties over, Harrison County and Carroll County. So I know your area pretty good. Grew up on WTOV News. So just wanted to say hi real quick there, that I also born and raised local out in your area there. Dad was born in Weirton. So yeah, I've got a bunch of hillbillies in my family. It is what it is. But yeah, Beastman for sure. Husk, nice to see you, brother. He's in here for the night. Let me see here. What else did I have to say about that first round match? Was there anything else? Nothing there. I was going to talk with Redacted when he gets back in here, so we'll skip that match for right now. I'll move on to John Wayne Murdoch versus Mr. Danger. I know we were talking about that one earlier here. Murdoch is searching for his 11th deathmatch tournament win. Outside of Tremont, no one has more deathmatch tournament experience or wins. Tremont's at 11 right now, searching for his 12th. So Murdoch's participated in 67 tournaments. 47 of those, he went to the semifinals, 32 finals appearances. Let's get you back on here, brother. There we go. 32.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We kind of anticipated it. We've had quite a few people that are in their car driving, and it's just like great connection, then bad connection. Dude, just to have you here is such a treat that you could be in any form and fashion. We're just happy to have you, brother.
Well, okay. You unmuted there for a minute, so we'll see if my phone lasts. We'll see.
Hey, no sweat, man. Anything we got with you is awesome. Seriously.
Sorry about that.
No, never be sorry. You made it here to begin with is awesome. So we were talking about Murdoch. So yeah, Murdoch's been in 67 tournaments. 47 of those went to the semifinals at least. 32
That's insane. That's
32
insane.
That's a very
finals.
high number.
Oh, dude. Oh, it's nasty. It's nasty. I'm trying to see if I did the numbers on him whatsoever here. Let's see, 47 to the semi, 32 finals appearances, 11 wins. Even after Murdoch's surprise first round loss at NGI 9, he's still a threat. At current numbers, if John Wayne Murdoch is in a tournament, there's a 47% chance he's in the finals. Almost 1 out of 2 chance that it doesn't matter if there's 8 or 16. Murdoch is damn near a 1 in 2 chance of being in the finals.
That's nuts. That's so
That's
sick.
experience. That's doing your job right. You know, you're being trusted.
It just like the fact that 67 deathmatch tournaments have occurred, and the fact he's been in the like
man.
crazy. All right.
What else do I have? Murdoch's done a lot to take young deathmatch wrestlers with high potential under his wing. Danger's one of those wrestlers. So if anyone will work with Danger and produce a great match for all, I feel like it's Murdoch here. I don't think anybody's going to argue that one pretty much. He's in safe hands. We pissed it off, Redacted. We pissed off your car.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, so I'll talk to you first about Redacted and Murdoch here. You've seen Redacted. Sorry, you've seen Murdoch. Holy shit, what a night we've had. You fought Murdoch 9 times, twice in singles competitions. What's your thoughts on John? I mean, you and him's been able to tussle pretty good.
I think my matches with John are some of my favorite matches, honestly. I love wrestling John, and I feel like I feel like we bring out like the best and worst in each other. And I mean worst in like the most gruesome way. I don't mean worst in like, oh, this match sucks.
So I was wondering then, you've never met Mr. Danger in the ring. Is there a chance maybe you could see him down the road there, you and him?
Listen, I will gladly introduce him to a new kind of crazy. I would gladly do it.
I heard someone say they would love to see both of you on a team together. I don't even know what dude, what would that look like?
It would look like something. I'll tell you that much. It would look like something.
Well, I would say he's the, what's that?
Like if we were a team, that would be cool.
We need Danger in the scrubs, and we need you in the jeans and the arm wraps.
Oh my gosh.
The full.
I do want to see dual scrubs.
The first match, the full outfit, like the shirt and the pants and the
scrubs.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll even wear a hood.
Oh yeah. Just get like put a wrap around your head. Make sure that you're completely like
we'll get
safe and ready to roll.
We'll just get the whole 9.
Oh God! Don't give Danger a trash can. Oh no.
It's possible.
That could be crazy too. That'd be sick.
Holy shit, the dangerous doctors.
Dangerous doctors.
Yeah, there you go.
Bro, that is it right there.
I was working on a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde joke, and it just wasn't getting there, and that got there right
here. Oh, Redacted. I'd love to see you pay a visit to the Juggalos on one of their future tours down the road.
I already did, and I think I will do it again at some point. I had to help my man.
There you go. Hell yeah, Juggalo. I think like you just got some good news there.
I would love to take down the Juggalos.
I'll tell you what, Stackhouse, I asked him because he went over there for a while. He loves it. He loves working over there. He says he has a great time with everybody when he's over there.
We can't be talking about that. We're in a kayfabe war right now, John. Come on.
I know. So Mr. Danger, I feel, has the entire world ahead of him. The more I learn about him, the more I want to see him succeed. He's got the old GCW attitude of giving his best effort. Speaking of, Redacted's right below me. I believe we'll see a lot more of him in the future. This won't be his last TOS either. There isn't a lot of young deathmatch talent entering the scene right now, and I feel like he's kind of a gem within that. I'm behind anyone who has love for deathmatch and willing to try. So, not perfect. I don't give a shit. Work your ass off. I don't care if you have one arm. Swing that fucking arm like you have two, and I'm gonna love you for it. Any thoughts on Danger?
I brought that up in the past about how Danger is that, like, we've been in this. I think we've been on this back end bubble of deathmatch rosters collapsing for a while now, and like Danger is that, you know, that injection of youth we need back in the scene. So
it's for me. What's that, buddy? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm saying it's something different too, because like in the deathmatch scene, you don't get too many like over the top flippy high risk guys, and he's that guy.
And knows what he's getting into and is willing to do it.
I agree.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
That means a lot. That was pretty much the wrap up for Murdoch and Danger. Was there anything else either of you wanted to say about that matchup before we moved on?
No.
I mean, he can go real far, but he's got to survive John Wayne Murdoch. That's the thing. You got to survive it. Not just getting the name of the tournament out there, but that's the whole thing. Is he's got to be able to survive John Wayne Murdoch.
Man, all right. So that's great advice. Now that you're here, I want to go into your matchup in the first round. You versus Otis Kogar versus Beastman. Now, first thing I want to tell you was we have already heard from Beastman. You heard he had a lot of words for you. Husk. Now you need to watch out for that.
When did you hear from him? I didn't hear about any of this.
Oh,
when your phone overheated and disconnected, he popped in the chat. I don't know if his translator's still in chat here or not. So.
Oh,
right there.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, he had some shit to say. So
I'm sure he did.
I'm just letting you know that behind the words is the man that you need to fear. And we'll see what he has to say when he sees you next weekend. Okay, so I'm just going to write out my notes of what I had before I knew I was going to have you on the show, Doctor. So you're going to hear a little opinion. I love you. I put here that Redacted is red hot right now and a heavy favorite to make it to the finals. I've talked to some who have him winning the entire thing. But in this first round, Redacted is outsized by both of his opponents. This won't be easy. If he pulls out this win, he'll look extremely strong going forward. I wrote that there. I have a feeling, Doctor, you're going to probably agree. A good win right here would really do wonders. It's just a nice, strong start to TOS 10.
I would love that, but like they always say, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
You could be a big son of a bitch all you want, but if I come up there and smack you upside the head with some shit, you're going down. That's it.
Fucking love it. Now I'm going to go over to Otis. Otis has shown a lot of strength in singles competition, and that's helped him separate from being more than just one half of a tag team. That distinction has made the Kogars more of a legit dual threat over time. Now we have Napier, and the Vandal 48 squad was born. If Otis stays on the same path, he'll continue to be his own man, and Vandal 48 will look stronger for it. Creatively, he can kill two birds with one stone in matches like this, and I feel that's a win-win for all. So I feel like Otis is coming in with a heavy amount of motivation here, especially now that he's debuted Vandal 48. Redacted, I know you have your head on a swivel, especially for Otis, given he stepped into this company and became a threat virtually overnight. We haven't seen him in forever.
He's a dangerous man on his own. And then on top of it, I got to look over my back because I got to worry about this stupid fucking family getting involved. And don't get me wrong, I don't fear the family, but numbers can add up after a while. And all it needs is 3 seconds for me to be distracted and I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we've seen it. Just a quick roll up, one quick distraction, 1, 2, 3, done. So your plan of attack is to just go ape shit basically and do everything, like fight from a corner to make sure no one gets you from behind, because you've got threats in and out of the ring.
Yeah, and that's quite frustrating. And I don't know if you've ever seen my matches, but they go all over the place. So all I need to do is turn a fucking corner and here's some little fucking goon from Ohio jumping up on me.
Oh, he could be in the crowd.
Yeah, and you would never even know because he blends in.
Oh yeah. So
literally, he was the referee in a match. He was a referee in what, 3 matches in that Ireland show, and nobody saw him. Like,
yeah, some shit.
Dude, we watch wrestling. When that happened, I was watching that, going, "Okay, have I seen that guy before?"
that was
and
my exact thought.
And Frankie, you do this because you're reviewing Redacted. You see faces all day long. You know, when you see a face that's kind of familiar and you can't place it, you're like, well, okay, that's just, I'll connect it later.
I thought it was just some random indie guy from Maryland's like, oh, he must have been at some show I've been at once or twice. And like, didn't even put it together that it was Christian. So,
well, Joppa was a debut. So I thought maybe the air, you know, like you said, kind of the local or regional referee was working.
I think Noter has it set up pretty well. It's Christian.
That's Christian.
Another unfortunate member of an unfortunate family.
And see, here we go already. But yeah, so you've met Otis 3 times, Beast Man 5 times. So neither of these men
wrestled each other. We've only teamed.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I was going to tell you, I don't have any singles numbers. It's always been in some form of a combination, never alone.
And we've always been on the same team. We've never worked against each other.
So you're familiar enough there a little bit.
Yeah, I know the tree's got to get chopped down. I get it.
Okay, so Beast Man, to me, like I said earlier, wouldn't normally be a contender a year ago, but then I watched a tournament out of Japan. Beast Man goes 3 rounds deep. He's a sleeper. Also, Tremont and Beastman are very comfortable with each other. They know each other well. So if this does go to the finals, there's a possibility they could put a show on for us. I don't know. I think Beastman's growing into his potential, and going to Japan has actually facilitated his growth as a performer. I would almost say that staying in Japan for a while might do wonders for him. And from like the Inoki type thing he kind of has in a vibe, I'd almost say Japan is his place. That might be his stomping grounds professionally.
I definitely think Japan works out better for him. And I'm not saying that in like a knock way, but like over there are people that are like legit terrified of the fucking guy.
You can't get that many places anymore.
Yeah. And I think over there, he just seems more comfortable.
Also over there, versus independent American wrestling, over there, they stick more to the rules, we'll say. So booking a big man over there, you're going to have more of a big man booking. Whereas over here, he might lose to Microman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, with someone like him, I think he's one of those old school guys where maybe it's best for him to protect his character. One husk is enough to let us know he was here and bounce, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. But like they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Damn right. So there was a video released by Vandal 48 a few days ago. Otis is standing in prison oranges. It says guilty by association.
Yeah, apparently
it shows him in cuffs. Oh, it shows him in cuffs. Napier and Atticus are on each of his shoulders like dueling devils. They're telling him, remember who you are. You are survival. People have been sleeping on you for too long. They treated you like you're the silent one, the side note. You earned every scar you have. And this last part got me. We survived together. And that's exactly what you were talking about, Doctor. You have to keep your head on a swivel eternally during this match.
Every time you go to that top rope, every time you do anything, you just have to make sure there's some little fucking Ohio goon sneaking up on me.
Let's see here. Yeah, Beastman has lost to Microman by way of the clusterfuck. So yeah, this is one of those things where, I mean, if somebody catches wind of that in Japan, which of course the internet has made the world small, it's going to blow his character. I don't want to see that. I think a big guy, if he, no shit, he found his niche.
Yeah.
Is there a better way to put that? I think that's
No.
the way for him. Okay, so I'll like break for a second right here from TOS Talk Redacted. This is one of the things I want to talk to you about. Saturday, July 5th. I want to talk about your thoughts on you versus Ultra Mantis Black. I feel that was a big deal for you, huh?
It's a real big deal for me. He was the number one on my list for a real long time. And now I can finally cross that off the list. And it's interesting because he's like the master of evil, like the most evil one there is. And I got to go toe to toe with him and show him what the new face of crazy looks like.
Ooh, I
Hell
like that
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I like that
And
a
I'm
whole
a
hell
big
of a
fan
lot.
of the Northeast. And it's in Connecticut, real close to New York, real close to Massachusetts. It's 4th of July weekend. You know, I got to show him what the fuck's up.
I'm trying to remember what you called that matchup between you two, because I wanted to take that and talk about that on the show sometime. What was it? Oh, Straight Edge Warfare.
Yeah. Because he's got the veganism over me, but two straight edge guys going to fucking town. Just, I plan on this being an all out like explosion of just nonsense. Like, this is going to be crazy. I hope people realize that.
Doctor, head on a swivel, brother. Christian
Dude,
Napier.
Dude.
He said, Redacted, fuck you. Remember when Addie tased you and you ain't do shit about it?
Remember when I tased Otis? Oh, yeah. I bet you don't remember that.
And see, this is what happens. So, like I said, Doctor, this is how people get swarmed. You know, you're just having a regular talk on a Tuesday night.
Yeah. And then here comes, little chump Tuesday.
I just wanted to throw this in here real quick. He said, really cool to see Redacted in GCW. His work in ICW, No Holds Barred, has really set the bar, and now he's getting to show his skills to a larger indie audience. Thank you, Redacted.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Bro, now I'm kind of wondering we've had Beastman, we've had Napier. Yeah, we'll see what happens in here. This has been a very busy night so far.
Well, KJ will probably rear his head eventually in this chat, as he usually does.
Well, there's no B tonight. B's not talking shit, so we'll see what happens here.
You want to start talking shit? I can do that. No,
see, I'm the nice one. I don't. Yeah, I know, right? I've had my rants. But yeah, Ultra Mantis Black. I mean, is this somebody I'm guessing you've watched for a long time?
It sure is. But I gotta tell people, it's not gonna be some ha-ha Chikara match. This is gonna be a fucking fight. So I hope you guys aren't coming there thinking it's going to be goofy ice cream cones, because it ain't. This is going to be war.
Have you guys ever touched the previous life or no?
Never.
Really?
Ever.
Oh.
Yeah. That makes it more exciting.
Oh, I like that.
Like you said, like in all these little haha joke feds, I don't think we've ever. You have to have had one match, but never really, huh?
No,
okay.
We've shared a locker room once. That's it.
Okay.
What if Mantis uses his powers to recruit Dr. Redacted? Remember, in another universe, they have deep connections. So there we see. Of course,
that's a team that this universe is not ready for.
Yeah, that's a different universe. Different universe completely. I think we've said everything we need to say about that match. Redacted, was there anything else you wanted to mention about that match going forward there? Again, that's a three-way, man.
No, I think we're good. We're good. I've got to put out any more of my plan out there.
Well, it sounds like the crows are flying kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like you're already getting circled. So, I mean, that's what happens when you turn the light on in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Man, oh man. All right. So on to this fourth first round match. Matt Tremont versus who? So what I'm going to do, because I know it takes a second to type, any listeners in chat right now, please start throwing out the names that you would like to hear for who would be that X. Now, I have written down some here. We had Yoshihiko. We had Gage, Akira, Ron Killings. I think Killings, though, is still under his 90-day. Chances are
he just started his 90-day, yeah.
One-man crew. We've been hearing about him lately a lot. We got that one. Maybe it'll be El Desperado.
So the three major categories of wrestler that we could be looking at. We can be looking at 1, surprise return. 2, what I'll be broadly calling the WWE releases. And then 3 would be the brand new, have never stepped foot into GCW locker room ever before types. Now, you're saying that Brett was leaning more towards the never before seen category?
New. He said new.
New.
Yeah. So
yeah, from what I
not
gathered,
seen.
it was not like a legend or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
No. So I do, I would saying the word new. Brett's smart. Just saying the word new got so many people talking because speculation is like the sport of a wrestling fan.
Yeah. So I
The
mean,
word
if we
unexpected got me.
say new, or
Yeah,
did he actually say unexpected?
Yes. That's what I saw in a post. So I saw in a post. So
Yeah,
So if
he
it's
said new and unexpected in GCW's Patreon on one of the official GCW podcast things. Here was another one. New Hayabusa, Mark Briscoe. Let's see. Okay, so here's
Strowman?
one. I'd see if Strowman. Oh, maybe that was. I'm not against that. I think he's very limited, but I mean, to show up and do something. I don't know. Great one here. This is our West Coast correspondent. I'd see Danny before Schlack at this point. That's going into some deep talk, but I see what he's just basically saying of the two that he, with doubt, he actually sees that there's something there. I know on Danny's side, if anybody's seen our interview, he's more than happy to work and make connections happen. So professionally, 99%, I would say no, but there, you never say never kind of thing. And the independent company, exactly. I'd like to see Facade in the Tournament of Survival. Have we seen Deathmatch Facade? Redacted?
That's a I've seen him wrestle Sabu, and they've done like extreme stuff. I don't know if he's done like light tubes or anything.
Here's another one that may be possible. Journey Fatu. Thoughts on that one?
That'd be sick. I'd be all
wild.
for that. That'd be cool.
Could you pick up Kyle's comment there?
Let's see. Let me get these two and then I'll jump to Kyle just real quick. Just because I have these ones saved. Gabe Kidd. What thoughts on that one?
That would be an insane pick, but that defeats the whole new that we've been fighting over. So
true. My last one here might be a sleeper. Cocaine.
God damn.
We've seen quite a few, so who knows? Who did you say here? I'm so sorry.
Kyle with his picks were Fuego, Elena Black, Brandon Kirk,
Brandon Burke.
Brandon Burke, Becca, and Tommy Invincible. See, that's who I'm thinking. Like, Elena Black was in GCW before her WWE run, so I don't think that's the new. But who else from these recent or less than recent WWE releases have we not seen in the GCW ring?
We'll see. That's the thing. So I mean, there's a couple things here. KJ Orso, not new. Probably not blood. He's got a good face to him. So, you know what I mean? He's not getting cut up anytime soon. Elena Black, chances are, same thing, not getting cut in the face anytime soon. Crandon Burke, haven't heard from him in a while. Hopefully he's still doing good. Want to wish him and the lady a wonderful future. I don't know what to say.
Retirement.
Hey, no shit. We miss Brandon Kirk. We miss Brandon Kirk a lot. We love the Kirk family. Becca, I don't think I've seen Glass and Becca before.
Tommy Invincible. He's got too many Kingdom Hearts tattoos to get cut up like that.
Does he have that many Kingdom Hearts tattoos?
Oh my god, yes.
That's
really.
I ride for Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Kingdom Hearts 3 sucks, but
oh my god, I ragged him so hard. It's like, bro, Kingdom Hearts is not a gimmick, bro. Oh.
Here's another one. Cruel. And I know for sure the fans want that. I'm waiting for it, and I feel that TOS would be a great place for it. You don't have to do
wild pick.
That
Atlantic City would explode if it.
There's another one. There's another one, dude. These are just in the last 8 messages. I mean, yeah. So let's see here. Who else?
Raka from the documentary.
Right here.
Rock. Yeah. So that's one of the twins that did the deathmatch documentary a couple years ago.
That is now getting traction right now because they're working on that next.
West Coast correspondent Elena Black said that wanted to work a death match with Jimmy Lloyd. No,
That
sorry, worked a death match in
That
AC
was
with
at
Jimmy.
Jimmy Lloyd's Jersey Shore out on the pier.
Nice.
Don't ask me how I remember that, but I do. See, so we have a couple of the WWE releases. Shotzi Blackheart.
That's a
makes
very strong.
sense.
See, yeah,
Like-
redacted, same things. Very strong pick. Possibly the NXT 30 day instead of the WWE 90 day.
Yeah, that's my only thought is like she was on that extended NXT 30 day versus how everybody got re-upped on different deals for main roster.
Says Shotzi's rumored to sign with MLW. There's another rumor. Never know. I don't know. I think that one was a great pick. We did talk a little bit about Cruel, but I would have advertised him because his debut would be worth promoting any matchup with a GCW deathmatch.
And that
wrestler.
would
I think
bring
that's
in
money.
That would bring in all of the ICW chuds to come to a GCW show to see Cruel.
Oh fuck
So-
yeah, dude! That's
Do
Chud
you
money,
think,
baby.
though, do you think the payoff though of the surprise? Don't you think that would be better, realistically speaking? And I am not downplaying any of these people named so far, but
Yeah.
if they were announced, it would be cool. But do you think it would really bring in that? Oh, I'm getting the eyes right now. I'm getting yelled at.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Just tell her thank you for sharing yourself with us tonight.
I'll get to it. But do you really think any of them would like really change the game for some of those people to come or not? Maybe they would tune in, but I don't know.
I don't know about a tournament, but in the right setting, I think that we would have some seats sold for Cruel. I believe we would have some people from the non-GCW side that would show up just to see the matchup, whatever that matchup is, and it has to be strong.
The surprise would be the coolest part.
Oh yeah.
So me and Redacted have two different schools of thoughts. This is awesome. So for me, I'm thinking like sell the name, and what you're thinking is pop the motherfuckers right there on the spot, sell him at the next show kind of thing, right?
Right, like think about it this way, like ECW back in the day.
Mhm.
If like someone was debuting and you didn't know about it, or like even old WWF, and they would just come out and you'd be like, holy shit, that guy just turned up on this channel. Like that's the cool shit. And then the next day for Cage of Survival, you could be like, oh, I assume that, so-and-so is going to be on this show. Let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to disagree.
I see, both of us are right, but there are two different ways to be like, ooh, that's cool, but so is that.
As a fan, I agree with you because I would rather be surprised. I'm thinking more business, I think, but you're thinking more like the way things should be and used to be, where it was protected. And if someone showed up and popped, you got rewarded because you put the money in to be there and watch it to begin with. So
you have to
be
in there before it happens to actually, get that full experience and,
and then it kind of creates that lore of like, oh shit, if I go to this GCW show, you never know who could turn up.
Yeah.
Bingo. And so you start to be like, okay, I need to watch because I don't want secondhand news on what just popped off. I need to watch it for myself.
Yeah. All right, let me get going. It was great talking to you guys, though.
Thank you,
I'll
Doctor.
see you Saturday?
I will see you Saturday, Doc.
Okay. John, I'll see you in another lifetime.
West Coast, we love you. It's this lifetime, and we are going to Fuku it out as soon as we see you in Vegas, baby.
Dude, we are having a Fuku date. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
right,
much again, Redacted. Later, take care, brother.
Love you.
Love you too, man. Alrighty, here I'm gonna go ahead and switch it.
This TOS is by far the best-selling GCW event in AC and for a long time. I think if you're reading the same thing I'm reading of, I think we saw 7th row sellout on the Eventbrite.
I think so.
That's an insane number that we haven't seen in a minute. Usually we'll see 3rd or 4th row for an Atlantic City show these days, but to see a 7th row sellout, that's good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last time we had a 7th row sell. I think the last time we had a 7th row sellout, we were still in the carousel room, and I think it was Mox engaged too.
Bro, and that's just after we sold out fucking Spring Break 9 and then sold out LA back to back. Like things I think are slowly working out.
Is LA still on their sold out, like their 12-night sellout run?
I believe they missed not this. If it wasn't the one before this last one, it was two before. At that time, I forget who it was, but they were running deathmatch in the same city at the same day at the same like.
Oh, so that okay. I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
I can't remember the company because it doesn't bother me either way who it was. But the point was though is that it split the crowd instead of getting the 900,000 whatever. I believe it was like 80 to 85% of that. So I mean that's still fantastic, but. I mean, that's why I said LA is battle tested. After having such an expensive collective, WrestleMania weekend, to turn around and still be able to plop $100 on a front row, whatever it is, to get into that LA show, dude. So yeah, I think they're battle tested. It doesn't matter when. I think people in LA will continue to just show up.
That's like you said before. That's the West Coast home. So I mean.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
I don't see them ever not doing really well in that building because I think the UCC is a perfect size for the LA, potential crowd. Let's say like
Dude, the sound bounces so beautifully. The walls are nice. The ceiling has like this really beautiful, almost chandelier looking thing. I mean, the vibe is cool. If you've been there more than twice, the front row are all the same people. They're all the same motherfuckers getting drunk, like, and they're all cool as fuck. Like, I don't know. I have nothing but love for them. The first show I went to, there was like a fight and shit. I'm like, I don't know if I want to bring my family to this shit. And then since then, dude, it is some of the most fun experience to just go there and like release, just pound the shit out of the fucking ring and yell and scream. And it's really fun to look around and there are people also losing their shit. So, I mean, for some reason, the crowd in LA is rowdy and it feels good. It's not a destructive. It's like a respect.
And it comes across on TV that same way. Bro. And I don't remember which show it was exactly, but it could have been last year's TOS or it could have been last year Homecoming or like a Homecoming before. But there was a large LA contingent, like an LA away team in Dodger blue in the front row.
Like they're the shit, dude. I love them. They actually sit to the left of me. They're cool as fuck. They just sit there and drink beer. And okay, you know how like you have boys on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
No shit. They're the ones on the West Coast. They're the ones you always see taking the picture after. They're the ones trucking drinks back and forth. They're always loud. They're the first ones to stand. Like they are the coolest fans. Like I love them 100%. And next time I see them, I'll say hi again, dude. We have a great atmosphere out there and the fans make it.
Chad, the lack of scheduled UCC shows. Come on, guys. You should know. You're just like AC at this point. You get 5 shows a year. Just expect them. Just don't get those months.
So, Chad, right now what it is outside of this one little jump in July, we generally always get a show in LA every 2 months. So, I mean, that's kind of what we get. And but yeah, you're right, Frankie. It's 5 if we're lucky, 6, but yeah, it's usually about 5 shows or so. In
Atlantic
LA.
City, like clockwork. It's New Year's. It's like late February, early March. It's TOS. It's Homecoming. It's War Games, and then we're back to New Year's, like clockwork.
Oh, well, I just wanted to say too. I flashed it up, but Ash from GoPro GPW's in here, production man, the guy who makes sure everything looks and sounds good at GCW. He's right there. Make sure you thank that man. If you ever get a chance to see him, say hi. Yeah, definitely some weird characters at UCC, but that's just indie wrestling, to be honest. That's the dead honest truth. I'll say this much though. Ours are like the cool, non-destructive kind of characters. You know what I mean? Like you can still walk down the street to your car with them. They're not going to take your money, but yeah, we've got some different people around. That's for sure. Insoles, my dude, says Kyle, get nice insoles. The floor starts to hurt after hour 2, maybe boots if you're short. That's no lie. I'm just going to let you know, even the seats there are hard. If you have problems for any reason with your spine or back, by all means, be ready to sit on your jacket or bring an extra shirt or something.
Bring the patio pad. The patio chair pad.
Juggalo says, have you considered a new venue for Las Vegas? Okay.
Los Angeles.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said LA. Los Angeles. My bad, brother. So there's been talk before. I think Brett was looking for one a couple months ago. I think he asked for it on Twitter. I don't think there's ever going to be a permanent change unless the UCC cuts GCW off, because honestly, the venue, the plate, like everything just locks in. The only issue is the lack of glass, which they've done really well to get around that. I can tell you that.
They've done barbed wire there. They've done some other spots. I think they've done some gussets there too.
Oh yeah, dude. Last show was gussets. Draymond pulled them out and just pop.
Like they can do death without glass, and there's been sort of there's been other people have said like, oh, we got to get away from glass, blah blah blah. But I don't see the lack of deathmatch there being an issue.
We've been very fortunate that the wrestlers and GCW have been creative to give us the show still without that bullshit trouble. Let's see, the wooden UCC, dude, they are. If you go back and watch KJ Orso try to break that chair over Sam's back, he legit tried to break that chair. It just didn't pop. And Sam even told me afterwards, he goes, when I got hit that first time with the chair, I was like, oh, that was not a good idea. And if you knew how we talk, that's how we talk. Love for Stackhouse. We get Gussets in LA. I know of a venue that you might think is good in the LA area, Burbank's iHeart Theater. Juggalo, you got me on Twitter. Hit me up, DM me with that on the back end. Same venue question for Vegas next year. Assume they run the Palms. I don't believe the Palms will be run next year. I believe that Brett is looking for a new venue. The only reason I'm saying that or anything was because I'd asked, is it going to be the Palms? Because I was working back and forth and I had to do a lot of trips. So I was asking, he said it's highly doubtful. That's not a complete no, but he's saying it's highly doubtful, and that's fair. I don't think I'm peeling back anything on that one. That Roxy show was legendary. Yeah, I'm open if we have to do something special that requires glass. But again, like you were saying, Frankie, they can do it without.
If I remember correctly, luckily, that Roxy show was a Mystery Vortex show, wasn't it?
I think that was funny name. Do you know?
I think that nothing was announced to that show, just besides the one night only at the Roxy, and I don't think any matches were announced that night.
I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
It's for some reason the Roxy show is screaming Mystery Vortex show, but somebody in the chat will let us know on that. Let's see.
What you thinking?
Meet the Grim saying the media chairs in Chattanooga are up there.
There we are, Grim.
The library chairs at Chattanooga.
Bobby
Banks have told me that those things are literally bomb-proof. So,
didn't a small piece break off at the TW? Ooh, I don't. You know what? Okay, here's something funny. I haven't watched the last couple of shows. I need to catch up. The last shows I watched from where I think the show's in England, so I got to catch up there. Let's see. They announced everyone here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
It was just the people who were there. No batch. Okay, I was close enough.
No, there has not been an official confirmation, but it's going to be Vegas.
Everybody has said everything except officially that it's Vegas. So
yeah. So I think WWE got like $6.5 million in tax credits, and chances are, so one of the things that was said, again, who knows how true it is, but New Orleans is still recovering and they don't have 100% the facilities necessary to facilitate that many people coming into town. That could be true. That might be wrong completely.
It could just be media spin for all we know,
Absolutely. All of this we could be the media spinning it for all we know. But yeah, I'm here in Las Vegas. I mean, I work a little bit with, I would say, GCW, and I asked about the Palms and he's like, I'm not really sure about that place. So I don't know anything yet, but I mean, there's a lot of great places in Vegas. But I am a fan of the Silver Nugget when we were there. It's a dirty, old, dingy place, but sound again. Like if I scream in that place, it sounds like 5 people. So imagine 900. I'm a big fan of that. Also, I don't like a huge room. Sometimes, give me a smaller room packed over a half packed, beautiful, quote unquote, stage somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Cruel was one of the ones we were talking about, getting back to the conversation of who X is. I have another one here, Lil Sicko. I feel that's a debut waiting to happen, and it's on the big stage.
And he is confirmed for the next day too.
Well, so here's the problem, and I found this out later. He's working the day of TOS across the country, so he's not going to be able to be there. Let's see here. He said, if it's at the Nugget, that might be enough to get me to go. But hey, no shit. I was laughing so hard. I can laugh about it now, but one of the people I know actually got their car stolen there while they were at the GCW show. It's a wild place. It's old rundown Vegas, like very local. And if you're a local there, chances are, 80% of the rest of the people in, like, it's one of those places. It's the dive for the area. A 130 at Video Blackjack at Silver Nugget one year. Yeah.
All sins absolved. All sins absolved. Ash won money.
Ash said $30 just takes care of everything. Let's see here. What else do we have? The Silver Nuggets Casino is closed, by the way. The event center is technically open, but not in good condition. Yeah, we found out the air conditioning sometimes works and sometimes don't. And that's a shitty thing to find out when it's 110. That happened 3 years ago.
Ugh.
Yeah, we had performers passing out backstage. No shit.
Goodness. All right.
Yeah, you guys remember what's the name of the guy who was supposed to be the plumber that was on the he had a mask and doesn't matter, passed out backstage after the match, just done.
The Earl, the
trying to think of his name. I'm trying to think of the name. It's like a plumber, works on the oil rigs.
The oil rig guy. I can't think of his Earl Daylight or something. I forget.
I don't know. If anybody in chat can remember who it is, Early Morning Guy Steel.
Early Morning Guy Steel. That's the one.
Name.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, passed out after the match backstage. Just boom, done. Dmitry Alexandrov, another debut. Excellent balance of talent and violence. That's somebody I had on there that I think would be a fresh face. Nathan Mowry, another debut. I feel like his time is coming. He's part of the Coven of the Goat with Tank and the Rev. So again, another up and comer and intelligent gentleman. I've had a chance to talk to him.
And we do know of the Coven and the Rev and Tank are not unknown quantities in GCW. So expanding that family in GCW would absolutely make sense.
Yeah, and it's just another. I feel like Mowry especially is the future over there for the Coven of the Goat. So I think, you know what I mean, once Tank eventually ends his time in a decade or less or whatever, I also don't want to age him. I don't want to say, well, you're done in 3 years. No, when he's done in a decade or less, there's going to be quite a few people that'll be able to carry.
And the Rev can go till the end of time. Like we all know. Dude,
the Rev is so damn good on the microphone that I think he's going to be studied like years from now. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, they're going to be looking back at some of the shit. Dude, I've heard some fire fucking like things come out of his mouth. And like the smart fans are just like, dude, bravo. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Rev and Tank, but dude, on the mic, Rev is fucking fire. Wild pick. Janela was pictured with Drake Younger at Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Do you think we may have Drake come back as the surprise? It's okay. Realistically, as a fan, do you think yes, no? Do you think the fans would be too rough on him? Like it's not.
Maybe.
Okay.
Especially that Atlantic City crowd that's just going to be screaming 2 piece and a biscuit at him the entire match.
So hold on though. Would that be good or bad to give him that heat?
We don't know. We don't know if that heat will be the good kind of heat or for like legit go away heat. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this much. In the 90s, he'd be on the show, and that heat would be eaten into his character as an old school heel. That's, you know what I mean? That's just what that is.
Today's a different day and age, and we would just we would separate art from artists and say, no, we just don't like that guy. So,
yeah. Actually, Juggalo, he was talking about the Fremont Country Club for Vegas. I believe that's where JCW had their show. Small venue, downtown area of Las Vegas. Yeah, it was a cool little area. See, now here's the other one too. It's in poor taste, especially in Pride, because they're talking Pride Month and whatnot. So I don't know. Like I said, you're going to see people in here, especially that are kind of sensitive to it. And that's not Brett's cup of tea sometimes to shake things like that up unless, he really needs to. And he has so much talent at his disposal that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think that was it for names for me. I know Shotzi was mentioned. Was there any other names you had to throw in?
Double checking my notes. No, I think we covered everybody. Like the only other, like we said, Christian Napier in passing is like, well, it's a ninth guy. It could be him. It could be anybody. It could be me. I could be the ninth man for all we know. No, it's jokes, people.
Hey, we're just fans talking. It's all good.
This is literally the video podcast version of the three guys smoking a dart before the show starts. So I mean, like it could be. It could be anybody. But like breaking it down to those three, like you have your returning legends, a Gage, a Cologne, for all we know, something like that, like one of those, like something like that, or like someone brand new who's never done a death match before, someone who's never stepped foot in GCW before, or like one of these one of those like TV releases that is just popping up doing like like a splashy independent appearance, like like how Cardona, like you were talking about announcing somebody or just coming in as a surprise, like how Cardona came in. Cardona came in as an absolute shock surprise. The entire room shit a brick because Cardona appeared as somebody's like goon bodyguard in like the full druid costume. So like it could be anybody.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I'm a very non-political, not tell anybody what to think or do guy. So for me, I don't mind. Like if someone says this guy's going to show up and wrestle, I'm like, okay, this guy shows up and wrestles, and whatever he does in his personal time, I didn't pay for. I look at it that way.
But I know how like Brett tweeting someone new, that's very open, but that does close a lot of doors on like it's not going to be like a Gage shock return. It's not going to be like a Cologne or something like that. And there have been enough people that have wrestled before WWE or before TNA or before AEW to come back and do an indie show. It's like, well, it's not them because they have been here before. So
Reed Harris Cooper, Teddy Hart with the roll up.
Oh no.
That's funny. Okay, so something funny on the side too, because we were talking and it's kind of all right. Teddy Hart's old girlfriend was actually Sabu's lady when she passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, she looks familiar, and I couldn't figure it out. And I talked to someone later that night, and like, yeah, her name's Tylee. I forget what, and they're like, yeah, that was Teddy Hart's old girlfriend. And then after, oh my gosh. Between Sabu and Teddy Hart, that lady is either a devil or an angel. I don't know which one, but no, seriously, think about it.
Well,
think about it. No. Just normally these are difficult men because these are difficult men. Naturally, that's, they're easygoing men and difficult men. They go on the difficult side. You got to be a saint to deal with some of these guys. And maybe she was a saint. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What else do we have? Yeah. Old school 90s would tell me to bring in some of the people that are canceled, but now you just can't do that. But yeah, for Heat, I would bring in all those canceled people, let them get booed, let them get shit thrown at them, let people love hating them, and let people say it at the top of their lungs. But again, different time, different era. Yep. And I have my promoter head on. My promoter head is there would people show up just to throw batteries at them in the 70s. There'd be people show up just to swing at them as they come down the aisle. That's Heat. And I don't think the way times are now,
we can have showboat carousel room energy going on there.
Yeah. And some of that's good Heat and some of it's not so good. But here we go. This will be our last one for right now. Necro Eric is so awesome. My left field pick would be someone like Sadaka, Yasuka Ito, or Chuck Stein. What do you think about either of those?
I have to laugh. And I can tell you, I can explain privately, but publicly on a podcast, I cannot confirm any of those people.
So I'll move on to something else here. Two things I wanted to talk about. First of all, being the 10th anniversary, I would have had 10 participants. Also, number two, being 10, and this is a celebration. I know this is difficult. I would have tried to have contacted all the past winners minus Havoc, who passed away from the first one, but you would have Gage, Cologne, Yamashita, Drew Parker. I feel like I'm missing one or two here, but I mean, we're talking that would be one half of the tournament, and then I would book Danger and a couple other younger cats because I like round numbers. And in 20 years, Gage won't be wrestling and some of these others won't be here. So in 10, I would have had 10 performers. I would have had the original winners come back, and I would have tried to do their best to put over the young talent with at the same time still, and then being what it is,
honoring the past and promoting the
past. And you would have also wrapped it up with a bow, having Tremont in the finals, and boom, that still, and you would have basically had then 3 or 4 deathmatch young stars get a push, especially when we were saying the deathmatch talent pool at the younger level right now is a little light. We'll see what happens there. I'm still hopeful. What happens if he pulls a 10th out of his hat? I know it sounds stupid because he's swinging on 9, but I was really hoping for 10.
It's too perfect.
Yeah. I'll give a couple numbers real quick for the smarter fans out there. When it comes to Matt has a total of 11 deathmatch tournament wins. He's participated in 50. Again, Murdoch was at 67 and 47. Tremont is at 50 and 36. 26 times to the finals with 11 wins. That means if Matt Tremont is in a deathmatch tournament, there is a 52% chance he's in the finals, which means if you do the numbers, there's a 101% chance that Matt Tremont.
Okay, all right. Enough with the Steiner map.
Hey, but no shit. 22% chance that Tremont wins it all in any tournament he's in. That's almost a 1 in 4 chance. He just has to walk in the door.
Now, I forgot if we mentioned this or not, but I know Tremont has not won TOS, and I do not believe Murdoch has won it either.
Oh my God, you got me thinking. Okay, chat, if you can find it before me, let's find that out real quick. I feel stupid.
I do too, and I thought I knew this, but I know there was a tweet a while ago that listed all 10 winners.
There was. Okay, so
and Murdoch win last year?
Give me one moment. I'll actually get that answer for you. It'll just take a second here. I'm going to go over and bounce over to Cage
We're
Match
very prepared people here.
Actually, I was going to say I prepared pretty damn good.
I didn't. Murdoch won last year. Okay. Murdoch won last year.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't want to search any harder than I already was.
Yeah. Yes. Murdoch went over Yuki Ishikawa last year, according to Cage
Thank you, Jacob.
Yes. So, okay. So that means that Tremont is the only one with the dog in his fight, with the dog in this fight that needs it. And I think this is the last major deathmatch tournament that he hasn't won, right?
Yeah, this is it. Okay, two schools of thought, because we were talking about how this ends. One school is Tremont gets his win here. That's the finish. Tremont then does a little walking of the bases for the next couple months with the deathmatch title. Goes from there. This is shitty, but at the same time, this is the businessman thinking. Since Murdoch has 10 wins and Tremont has 11 for heel heat, I would have put Murdoch over Tremont in the finals. Now we have both men worldwide have 11 deathmatch tournament wins. Now we could kick off a summer of violence. Now, again, I don't like the idea because of time, but that means that Tremont has to wait until TOS 26. But I do like the idea of kicking off a summer of violence because by heel heat, Murdoch took Tremont's moment from him. Again, that's long term.
I would agree with you if he hasn't already been cut off like this before, because a couple years ago when he was facing Parker, the same sort of thing happened where we thought, oh, this is Tremont's here. This is the last one he needs. Bing, bang, boom. And then Parker essentially stole it from underneath of him. And if that had not happened a couple of years ago, that would make more sense. But now, if you're running that back, well, you're just running, essentially the same storyline of, so Tremont got it stolen out from underneath of them. That's another name we didn't even mention. Parker hasn't even been mentioned in any of this any of this with the ninth man. That before we knew about the like we're talking about this new new entrant, Parker hadn't even been thought of.
So partially because Brett said it was a new person, and partially because I feel like, do you feel it's almost a waste to not announce Parker? Like, is he a big enough surprise? Especially since, for the last 2-3 years, he's been almost a deathmatch staple on the big shows.
And he retired and came back, and
yes. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't, again, we both could be right. We both could be wrong.
But he did also, if I remember correctly from my doom scrolling on Twitter, that he said coming back to America for the SummerSlam shows.
Possible.
So
possible. Grimm's with you. Also, Grimm said a couple things. Grimm said they would quit smoking if Tremont wins. Any friends would like to take a screenshot? Now's your time for that one.
I've watched that man hand roll a cigarette standing next to the ring in Asbury Park.
Another great point.
Sitting there watching that Bab Tremont Beastman Mad Dog match, and he's just there with a bag of loose tobacco, hand rolling a dart while we're watching that match. And I'll do it again too. He just said I'll do it again.
Bro,
he won't anymore. Tremont wins.
I was gonna say, don't quit smoking if you have skills like that. What are you gonna do? No, I shouldn't say that, but 10 years of Otis wrestling. That's important to people behind the scenes. So I could see where Brett would say, you know what, let's make a little bit of a celebration of it. It's possible he could go into the second round, third round.
I could see him as the heir apparent for the UV belt.
Oh my gosh. It only would make sense. I feel like it would kind of round out. Like I said, Vandal kind of has a situation where you have, Otis is the tank. You have the cerebral one who's kind of in the center as Atticus. And then you have Napier, who we're still waiting to see what's going on. But I'm hoping he has a little top rope with him also, because that's one of the few things I think that the Kogars or Vandal 48 is really missing, would be that type of person. So I don't know how it's going to land. I'm really curious because, again, that's a young guy. There's a lot of potential there. We'll see what happens.
The archetype of a 3-man stable like that would be the leader has like an IC US level belt, and then the two other guys share the tag team belt. That's the archetype for that kind of, like, your Shields, your what have you. I can't think of any other stables like that right now, but that style, like an Evolution sort of thing, where they have, like, the mid-level belts, because Atticus has been making a run at the JCW belt. If I sort of,
he had an attempt with Masha, and I think he put a storyline with it because that's him. But I feel like if there was any story whatsoever there, it got swallowed up by that Guy Fawkes mask.
The Foxcatcher.
Yeah. So, I mean, but again, I'm actually, we'll talk about that when we get to the JCW championship match there. But yeah, if Tremont wins, we're going to get a happy ending here. I think that's what everybody's banking on, but we know Brett. I know he always has something in his sleeve no one thought of and no one asked for. It can be a double-edged sword. We've seen it. We've seen the good surprise. We've seen the bad surprise. See what happens. Right here, Drew Parker.
Drew Parker's the 10th. Okay.
And I'm with Great One. Yeah, would have been better off advertised as a regular entrant.
Coming around to your 10th man argument.
Yes.
Brett only said the 9th man was new. He didn't say anything about the 10th man being new.
Bro, dude said it was over at 8. Week and a half later, we have a 9th entrant. I don't know. That's a weird one, bro. Hey, it's independent wrestling. What's it going to do? Piss off the sponsors?
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's independent. We'll see what happens.
Oh, no. The marks are on Twitter again. Oh, no.
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing going on there. Yeah, it's going to be fun. This is funny. I'll just put this one up for fun. I'm hoping that doesn't thumbnail later.
Leave it up there. Let everybody just let everybody get it now.
I know, right? I was thinking about that, and I don't want to hear the message the next day when it's like, what the fuck was that? You know what? He doesn't say a damn thing. He's been so great about all
Ugh.
that. We have like the loosest rules. It's great. Like, okay, so if I knew what was really going on, unfortunately, I couldn't be a fan. Also, I couldn't be authentic. Also, it kind of blows my job. So I've told I don't know how many people, I'm like, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. This is one of the few companies I still have in existence where the magic is still alive. Don't tell me what my Christmas presents have in them, please. Like I'm that guy now that's gotten old enough that I don't want to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just better that way. He said, "What are the rules, John?" That was one of the rules, self-imposed kind of thing. But overall, Brett didn't give us any rules. He told us to be honest and to make sure that we just keep doing what made it successful because we showed him the growth. And he's like, okay, these guys obviously have a small church, and it's people seem to like it and identify. The only rule that was really given was don't bring anyone on who's purposely going to be damaging or mean. And I think that's a very fair rule that any company would follow. If you're Coca-Cola, don't bring someone on who hates soda and will just shit talk it the whole, outside of that though, that's pretty much it. It's independent wrestling. So it's very loose. Our podcast got picked up. We do our thing and it's pretty much it. He just wanted us to be
broadcasting at
honest.
11 o'clock Eastern on a weekday. I mean,
Yeah.
It's fucking night court in here. Like,
yeah, no shit. And that's kind of the fun of it. Was part of it is the fact that like I grew up on Art Bell Coast to Coast and some of these old radio shows, especially when I was working night jobs. So for me, this is like I get to DJ a night show. Number two, we actually offered Brett to move the show, and he was like, no, because he's another one that was like a late night person and he likes late night entertainment. And there's no fucking late night entertainment, especially for East Coast people who are insomniacs. So we felt this was cool because, like me, I have shitty problems sleeping. Dude, if someone would have given
this show
me
has
any
caused me to have
entertainment-
shitty problems sleeping.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like honestly though, I just if anybody could have offered live entertainment that I could interact with in the middle of the night, and it happens to be my favorite GCW, like my favorite company, cool. So that's kind of what this is. The originator is Brant, 100%. Brant started he started Game Changer Week. Oh geez, he started the GCW Plant podcast. After 4 episodes, he contacted me, and that's where I started. So I mean, and there. So the dominoes actually started with Brant, and then moved forward. But that's the rules. Don't bring in any assholes. Be yourself and be honest, because people will sniff that out and see you as bullshitters. Literally, that was. Yeah, don't tell the truth because people smell bullshit. And then what will you be? So there we go. Sorry, that was the long answer. I'm lucky to be on the West Coast, and this show generally ends around my bedtime. Yep. That's the way it is over here on this side. Half the time I go down and listen to the show after this just to see what went right and wrong.
And then we have like literally all of the chat is all of the East Coast, dorks like Grim and Reed.
Yeah,
a couple of people.
That's where you come in, Jersey. That's where you come in, Mr. Jersey. That's that East Coast, baby. Also, I will say, don't forget after TOS later that night at 10 p.m. is the GCW Deathmatch Hall of Fame. There are a couple inductees. We have Too Tough Tony. He's going to be inducted by Violent J. The team of Mean and Hard, that's Mean Mitch Page and Rollin' Hard, are going to be inducted by Nick Manawa. Just announced yesterday, Jeff Cannonball will now be inducted into the Independent Hall of Fame by Tony Deppen. And then announced just hours ago, Scrawny Shawnee will be inducted by Zandig. Congratulations to all 4 men on their accomplishments. There are stories that will never be told and sacrifices that none of us will ever see. Kudos to them for putting their bodies and their time out there to entertain all of us. Thank you.
Yeah, seeing Cannonball get the nod.
Yes.
That means a lot to a lot of people. So,
dude, yeah. Last thing I want to say about Tremont and Murdoch here. Actually, no, we didn't get to that yet. We'll talk about that. In my second round, I have Murdoch and the Bev. Thoughts on that one? I mean, you had the Bev winning, so I figured, would you have Murdoch over Danger, or would you put Danger in the Bev in second round?
I think it's gonna be Murdoch. So Murdoch and the Bev makes sense.
So I did a little research. The
Mhm.
last time Murdoch and the Bev fought each other in singles competition was at ICW NHB Volume 22 over 3 years ago, February 26, 2022. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if that matchup happens, it's a rare one, and it's a
What are they up
matchup we
to now?
haven't seen.
70 something?
Yeah, dude. Last I think it's 74. I think
Jesus. I know
yeah.
80's in Newark in a couple of months. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, between Murdoch and the Bev, both are blue collar badasses. And I think both are going to honestly put everything into it. So I think what we're going to see is a real classic, no frills, no fireworks, fucking beatdown.
that might be, I mean, there's others that are going to be like the fun match of the night, but that's just going to be, I think that might be the technical match of the night.
Meat and potatoes for the seasoned fan.
Yes.
And
I think there'll be other matches that have more fireworks, but I think for the actual, for like, the true, students of the game type fans, I think that's going to be the one to watch for.
So my second round, I put Matt Tremont and Dr. Redacted. I felt that Redacted over Otis and Beastman, mainly because Beastman is still on the rise. I still feel that he's not going to get the same respect in America as he will in Japan, being honest. Otis, like somebody said, is in his 10th anniversary, and Vandal 48 just started, and so right there, I saw a couple messages of people saying, Vandal just started. They need a series of wins to be taken seriously. Yeah. And that's exactly what I said last week is if they go out there and just get their shit kicked in over and over, what do their words matter?
It'll be the League of Nations all over again.
Sip it on down, sip around. Dude, I have a problem. That is so fucking catchy. So that's the other problem. I'll get to the GCW, JCW thing later. I have a problem with JCW in the best of ways. We'll get to that here. Let's see. Yeah, Matt Tremont and Dr. Redacted was who I had in the second round. Like I said, Otis was maybe. But Tremont and Redacted met in singles action one time, Ruthless Pro Wrestling Street Trash, again, over 2 years ago on April 2nd, 2023. This is new school death match meets old school death match. This would be a matchup where I would hope people talk about for years to come. And this is kind of lining up with what I said, where I would have liked to have seen all the winners come back and kind of lightly put over Young Cats. Mm-hmm. This match would be the, very, this is new and young. Sorry, without better words.
In a different life, I think that the from the heart pick for the finals would be this match.
Yeah.
I think if you listen to all the screaming fans, I think the finals of Doc versus Matt would be the match that a lot of people, I'm not going to say most people, I think a lot of people would want that just to see what would happen in the finals. Because, if Doc shows up in pure white, I just want to see how pink it gets towards the end of the night, where he's just, bleeding buckets. And, Tremont has no problem bleeding. A stiff bruise makes Tremont bleed at this point. So, like,
he said he wanted to get in shape so he could take off his shirt and get more slices on his back. Who says that? He said he was jealous. I forget whose back it was. He's like, I saw all the cuts and I was so jealous, man. He's like, I got to lose weight and get my shirt off so I can get cuts all over my back. I'm like, that is the craziest thing.
That's lifer talk right there.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Okay, here, let's keep rolling into what I feel is the finals. But again, you may have different people, so I want to respect that. I have Matt Tremont versus John Wayne Murdoch, the two old dogs going at it. They're going to take care of each other. They're going to put on a solid match. It'll also be the first time they went toe-to-toe in singles action since March 10th, 2023. So we're talking over 2 years. Who's your finals?
Like I said, heart says Doc and Matt, brain says John and Matt.
Yeah.
So
you sound like a lot of the smart fans too, man. That's where they're kind of going.
It's all signs point to Matt winning the tournament.
Yeah.
Just doing the booking math that all of us nerds do, it just makes sense that Matt keeps the belt. You said it before. It's like, are you not going to have Matt bring the UV belt to Japan? Like,
Right.
who else would you have your deathmatch champion be going to a Japan tour?
Yeah. Wild. Well, you know what? He gets so much love over here. I'm sure that's just intensified in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
We felt lucky in LA. I couldn't even imagine how people halfway around the world feel. Like, dude, that's just like lightning struck.
Because he's been that best kept secret of the Northeast for years and years and years and years and years.
To get him on a plane to go over there is rare.
And we've been so lucky enough in Jersey that like his own Fed H2O ran for years and years and years every other week at some points, where it's like, oh, it's Saturday, all right, let's go take a ride down to H2O and see what chicanery is happening tonight. Like, it was just, oh, okay, it's Dreamont's place, we're just gonna go see his show. Like, we were being in South Jersey, Philly area, it's just like, oh, okay, we're going to Dreamont's for a show. It's just there. It's not something where you had to count down the days to go do a major show or wait for the show to come to town.
It's just like you're kicking it at your friend's house. Let's go to Treymont's.
It's like, you want to go to H2O tonight? Like, okay. Like, easy as that.
God, yeah, we don't have that out here. We just don't.
You were telling me about, like, FSW was the closest you had, but that's not even a comparison. So.
Oh gosh, no. It's very WWE 90s without the shock. Think 91, 92. Like, it's very by the book. Very by the book.
When I looked, it had a real Nitro vibe to the set design and all that almost.
Oh yeah. It screams 90s. Even the design on everything kind of has a 90s vibe to it. That orange and black kind of,
the diamond plate and all the hex bolts holding everything together type.
Yeah. So yeah, that was GCW's Tournament of Survival 10 from the terminal. Fuck, I said it again. The terminal at the Showboat in Atlantic City.
The Turbidal.
So here's my problem, dude. I'm like, okay, if I say terminal once, it's gonna stick. Have you ever fucked up a word and then it just sticks in your
all the time? All the time.
Yeah, well, I do this professional. Well, I wouldn't say professional. I do this amateurly, and now I just fucked up a word. So I'll go ahead and just say this again. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you want notified when you go live. Super chats are available if you want to donate. For those who donated last week, again, thank you so much. That was the first half of the show. We have Cage of Survival 4 to go through. So definitely stick around if you have time to do that, because we are approaching roughly hour 3. We're 1 hour and 43 minutes in here. So we're doing well so far. Thanks again for Dr. Redacted for being with us. That was fantastic. I mean, he's just like, good word for it, is a friend of the show, but at the same time, when he comes to town, man, we're going out and eating. Like, he's a good dude. He's been very, very kind, very nice. Both of them are a great couple. So really do wish them the best, honestly. You ready to go into Cage of Survival?
I will never have a bad word for Doc, ever.
No. Nice guy.
Until he tackles me at TOS this weekend. But that's another fight for another day.
If anybody meets him, he's all love, he's all heart. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels, and he's got an infectious personality that he's one of those ones, you talk to him, you're going to like him from there forward. Yeah, that's how it is. You ready to kick into Cage of Survival 4?
Hopefully this will be quicker because we got most of our thoughts out in the first half. So let's go.
It truly is. It truly is quicker. No sweat, my friend. There's a lot of wrestling to look forward to on this card. I would say the dog collar match and Cage of Survival matches have grudge match written all over them. A JCW title defense is on the line, a Bear Bronson debut, a return to the ring for Miedo. I'm really looking forward to it. So what do you say here? Let's move into... Oh, I wanted to also let everyone know, ticket-wise, there are still some seats available in the 5th row. So if you get a chance, maybe check that out. Otherwise, standing room only. And same thing, there should be some tickets. But if you get a chance, try to nab them.
We were talking about this before about how 7th row is insane for the terminal, but 5th row is a very good showing. Usually, we're lucky if we get to the 3rd or 4th in the terminal some nights. So these are going to both be very big crowds. I say big, but modern big. Let's say I had my big diatribe after War Games last year. So I think since that era, this is going to be one of the more populated weekends since then. So
Love to see it too, honestly. You know,
after that $120 we had on the Sunday of War Games, that was a tough show.
You know what? I think it was necessary. Looking back, you were 100% right. The fans had a vote of no confidence and they said, we're sick of this shit. We're not showing up. We're not doing it. You're going to have to pick up your fucking act or we're going to take our money elsewhere. And I think that was the kick in the ass that was needed, honestly. If you want honest truth, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Polls for COS 4 winners were released on Twitter. Bear Bronson versus Slade. Bear Bronson was picked 57%. Very interesting.
I think the debut, he needs that just strap a rocket to him off a debut like that.
I always say heel or face, anyone who debuts needs to come in strong. Otherwise, what are they worth? And what are they adding to the soup if they come in weak?
Yeah.
You know. JCW Championship, Masha Slamovich versus KJ Orso. Masha is favored 75%. Dog collar match, Joey Janela versus Atticus Kogar. Atticus Kogar favored 58% there, almost 6 in 10. 8-person tag team, Team GCW versus Team JCW. Team GCW pulls out the win here, of course, 87% on that one.
It's not like we're biased or anything here, you know?
No, not whatsoever. Juggalo was one of the few votes, of course, for JCW. I got to respect that. Cage of Survival, Ciclope versus Miedo Extremo. The fans are out for the face. Ciclope, 76% to win. Don't disagree with that one whatsoever, do you?
Nope.
Do you see Miedo really, like, if Miedo pulls it off here, what do they got going forward, you know?
They're like, we'll get to that when we get to the match. I'll hold my tongue.
I'll throw that little in the fire right there. We need Sicko in danger. That's youth.
Hey, I'm not saying anything, but you know, the 4th of July is coming up quick. You know, if there's any venue for a fuck off match like that, backyard's definitely that's a backyard match.
I think that's the only way that should happen, because the creativity is going to take place of, you know, some of the lack of experience they have. You know, some of Sicko's best spots are diving off of shit. So, I mean, you know, no one's sitting there, you know, replaying his clotheslines. I look at it that way.
Forgive me. I got to look something up. So,
by the way, that's a good point right there. Violent J on commentary. Between him and Gage, they're two of my favorites on commentary, especially at the backyard shows. And honestly, in the later years, that's probably what I would do with Gage, is I would put him on color and keep him there. That would be an original GCW voice. He would have the GCW way of thinking, and it would constantly be in your ear. So that's what I would have done with Gage in the long term, was I would make him one of the voices of GCW. He truly is.
And his commentary was actually, I've enjoyed whenever Gage has done commentary.
Dude, sometimes it makes me laugh. Like, he just says something that sounds tough, but he knows it's kind of funny. He's like, I'd fuck him up if I had a chance. I'm like, that's fucking funny, you know?
Oh shit, my food's here.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's just one of them tough talking.
And then he'll sit there and then call off like some random suplex variation. Like,
yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. He keeps it hidden and then pulls it out when he needs to, kind of thing, is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling there's a lot hidden underneath that lid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go into this first match of Cage of Survival 4. We have Bear Bronson versus Slade. I wrote that Bear is a powerhouse. I'm hoping we have a new powerhouse at GCW. It shakes up booking. I also have here, unless Slade is getting a major push, I doubt he gets the win here. If he were to be pushed, he would have been in TOS. This will be the second time Bronson and Slade have faced off one-on-one. They've met up previously at Create a Pro Wrestling, where the match went to a double DQ.
I believe they're both Create a Pro products as well.
Yes. Yeah. So, to me, Slade is still a good JCW guy, and I don't feel he's risen much above that. That's personally, and I hate to say it, personal opinion. He does lack a little personality, but that's by design. I think that's who his character is. He's the silent type. He does the job. He doesn't need to tell you about his fucking family. He's there to do one thing and one thing only. And when he's done, he's gone. But that's just, personality is needed just a little bit. But again, if they keep showing these little tantrums he has and other things like that, it shows that that wild side, that aggressive side is still there. So I feel they're still getting the point across. But as of now, this is really my least anticipated matchup on the card because, it's for right now, it's just a match, but I have my eyes on Bear and I'm looking forward to, like I said, a new house.
I've been watching a lot of baseball recently, and the phrase that comes to mind watching this is defensive indifference. It's there,
Interesting.
It's a match. It's going to happen. I'll be in the room for it happening, but I'm like, if I'm entertained by it, great. If it's whatever, it's whatever. But
Slade versus Tremont versus Kaplan is running for the match of the year. What we were just saying, you ever see that man walk around anywhere? It's terrifying. He's got almost like a tunnel. That's what I've kind of seen out of him.
I've heard stories from other workers about that as well too. So
Reed Harris Cooper, that's the real him too. You ever see Slade show up to a venue? Yeah, just tunnel vision. Do your job, boom, out. Nothing wrong with that. No drama, right? No drama with someone who shows up and does their job and leaves. Hey, clock in, clock out. All right, on to our second match here. We have the JCW Championship title with our champion Masha Slamovich going up against our defender here. Our challenger KJ Orso. Getting a little late here. I have here that KJ needs this win if he's going to be a credible threat. Everyone needs to know he can back up his words. Also, creatively, I believe he could do more with the title at this time currently. His personality is big. I like promos and stories. He can provide those for us in handfuls. He uses social media more, and he screams effort. He also stands to gain more from a JCW championship run at this time. It gives him a bigger pedestal to piss you off. If KJ wins, expect him to shoot straight to the top. I would be proud to know he's carrying one of our titles, heel or face. What are your thoughts on KJ?
Everything makes sense. Everything makes sense for him to win the belt here. But I think Clown and Great One had the same exact thought I was going to say. It's like Stackhouse is going to come in and do something. It's if I can put on my my smart hat for a second here. It's the booking math with the Foxcatcher angle doesn't make sense for Orso to win right now.
Agree.
Because if they're just starting this anonymous bounty type gimmick now, and you're going to throw KJ Orso at the match, I don't like the odds. You can't say that like we're going to do this weird mystery gimmick and we're going to put it away after one match and KJ's going to win it.
It's too short of a story. I would have KJ go over. Mason's music hits, slow clap.
Yeah.
Hands over the money. Great job. Would you like a position with me? They both come in suits to every show. They look like $1 million. They act like $1 million. By the way, Charles Mason's new video, go watch it. Motherfucker needs to go act. He's an actor. Go check out his shit. It's funny. There's a funny part at the end, but overall, dude, whoever's producing his shit and writing it for him is fantastic. And the promos
that we're getting around GCW as a whole right now are insane.
Way better, way more, and much more professional than 2 years ago. Like for us to see a promo or anything backstage was damn near impossible unless it was a big show.
Like I think this is dating me a little bit, but I think before this cinematic era, and I know I'm going to hate myself for coining that phrase right now, the cinematic era of GCW. One of the best promos that has come out of GCW for a minute was after Cole had a death match. It's like was something about her, or like Hell Has a Home Here or something like that. I forget, but it was just Cole rambling at the camera for 2 minutes, and I think that was the promo that defined GCW for a minute. And
That's also how we get to know our performers and characters and fall in love with them.
yeah, I gotta go find this promo now. So
I honestly tried my best to. We'll talk about that one later. I was going to pull up quite a few promos. I pulled this one up.
Violence is a home. That was the one.
That's it. I love that. Right here, Grim saying the new Atticus one goes nuts. Yes, the new Atticus promo was released today. It's fucking good. If you get a chance, go check that out. The day before that, or 2 days before that, Otis released one. It was like a Vandal 48 one. It was his video for his match. Go check that out too. Well done. Again.
And then we had this other longer documentary coming out for Atticus at the end of the month.
And it looks good. There was a little clip with him talking about promos. Excellent. I'm really looking forward to it. Anytime you can really dive into the mind is fantastic. And you know it's going to be for people like us. It's not going to be, a general fan going, "Oh my gosh, this is all fake," or this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't believe I just used the F word. Anyway, Slade has the best promos in wrestling. Short and sweet and to the point. Masha's been somewhat plagued with a lack of storyline direction. This has been the biggest concern I've had for the last 6 months or so. She fights and wins a lot. I respect that. Someone put a bounty out on her. It started at 5K. This is the storyline I was waiting on for her. So again, hopefully that comes to an ending. But at the same time, you're saying she's in the middle of something here. What the hell are you going to do? What are you going to do? And again, I don't know. I appreciate performers stepping up and giving themselves a story. Otherwise, it's just a match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, us seeing it from that next level up, where it's like it's not just A versus B. We're seeing 2 stories up where we can see A versus B, and then we have C and D coming from 3 blocks away each direction. And he's like,
"Yep,
the math ain't mathin'," and it's just,
yeah, it just went in when it did.
It's not gonna be KJ, obviously.
But if a Fox, what was it, Foxcatcher? If another video comes out and it has KJ's name in it, like it had Mako or Mako's name in it,
Makowski, now Mako, yeah.
That would kind of tie things together a little better. Maybe there will be a promo before the match. Doubtful, because usually those promos, I mean, they're so good. You got to see them when they pump out. You don't want to wait till the show.
Yeah.
To debut some of these. Ivan knocks it out the fucking park. If Masha wins, I wrote that it'll crush KJ's character, and I don't see a point in that, especially after that huge rehaul KJ just went through. That was a career rehaul. According to Atticus, the independents were for the hungry, not the signed. KJ's hungry. He's aggressively chasing his future. If he won, I would expect a highly athletic championship run. He can work with most anyone and look good carrying the title. I wanted to see a belt on him as a face, but I'm very interested in what he can do as a heel. That's where I'm at right now with him personally. I just feel like he has a lot more to say, a lot more going on. He's pulling promos, pull videos. I mean, constantly on the mic talking. He's selling constantly. He's doing what you would want to see a responsible wrestler do in their on time and off time with their career. So I think that if he doesn't get it here, he's in line if he stays with GCW in the longer term.
Sure.
That was a lot of words. Sorry.
No, he's definitely on that challengers list, but there's too much traffic with just different storylines coming together, because we have the whole Atticus angle about like him coming after the JCW belt, and then we have the whole Foxcatcher thing. We don't even know who Foxcatcher is yet. We don't know who could be behind it. Who's
Yeah.
Is that KJ?
No, that's KJ? Well, KJ's in the picture, but that's Ishmael, who is a very big fan of KJ.
Oh no, so I'm ribbon. But
I love the mask though. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
He's got a legit mask. Love it.
So
I'll put that out there too. Sorry, this one first. I missed the Hoffman Estates. Yeah, I just do. I like old shithole venues. I'm a sucker for that, because
that's what the Showboat was before the water park was built. It was a very, homey, divey, this is our place kind of venue. But after the whole remodel, that's good things can't last.
Let's see here. I know this is a somewhat conflicting question, but in terms of Triller, I've been hearing that they're going through financial issues. Is there a plan for GCW to live on without Triller? Okay, on GCW's Patreon, this was asked of Brett, and he had said, let me make sure here. He said that it's Triller that's in trouble. He said that Triller Plus is in fairly decent financial condition, and he does have a rough backup if necessary. Now, again, don't quote me 100%. If you have a chance, go to Patreon, check it out. But I believe in the last episode, that's what he was talking about, because someone in there had asked him about that. Uh-oh, watch out. It's the Jersey Deathmatch truther.
I'm not the truther. Fuck.
Oh my goodness.
Grim, you know, there's like 4 other people that we have talked about that are potentially the truther. That neither here nor there.
True. I'm the truther. What would be the rough backup? That is a great question. I'm giving you what he said. He didn't say what the backup was. I'm fairly sure it's not going to be IWTV. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. He said, it's me. Anyway. Anything else on this Masha KJ before we move on to the next match there?
It's got to be a Masha title defense, for better or for worse. Like, it's, I say that disparagingly because we've seen it go on for so long at this point right now.
Yeah. With something like this, all we're hoping for is the story is good because we know the ending.
Mm.
So, all right, on to our next match. Our third match here, the dog collar match. We have Joey Janela versus Atticus Kogar. I wrote here that both had some recent run-ins with each other. We have 2 men with a grudge in one of the rarest forms of match stipulations, the dog collar match. In the mainstream, these matches are very rare and have a big amount of build behind them. They're usually taken seriously and can become extremely violent and bloody. Greg Valentine used a chain and popped Roddy Piper in the ear, and he lost a good part of his hearing. Valentine was present when Brody Lee had his last match, which was a dog collar match versus Cody Rhodes during Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary celebration. My take, both men are extremely creative. There's a time and a place for everything. This would have been my recommendation for Las Vegas Spring Break 9 if Joey didn't already have Sabu on his card. I would have loved to have saved this match for a larger stage, only because classically I know how important a dog collar match is. However, given the years span of their grudge, let's do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think, man?
So a couple of notes. The last time a dog collar match happened in GCW, it was Joey. It was it was Joey and Sawyer versus Mason and Paro, I believe.
Dude, I forgot about that. The double. Yeah.
When it was the double dog collar, and when Mason got hung from the scissor lift. I think that Joey is probably going to be the one to bleed more in this match because of Atticus's, I don't want to say reluctance for deathmatch after his ICW retirement. Retirement. I mean, I say this. Yeah. I say that in quotes. It just leads me to believe that Joey's going to be the one who's actually going to be leaking more in this match. We've said it before. Vandal needs the wins, and I think Atticus is going to win. I think it'll be a dirty win. I don't think it'll be a clean in a death match, but I think it'll be a run-in on Vandal's part to actually get the win. So that Vandal can still raise their hands high and say we won, but Joey's not going to go home with his tail between his legs. It's such an interesting stip that I really can't speak on anything besides just regurgitating the stats of previous matches and just the lay of the land on that. It's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be fucking gory. This this may be bloodier than the cage for all we fucking know.
It has all the, dude, that's what a match usually a dog collar match ends with fucking blood everywhere.
Yeah. Like the last time there was blood on the scissor lift that was there the next day. Because that was homecoming. It was the dog collar was on day 1 and there was still blood on the scissor lift day 2. So
dude, blood on the scissor lift is such like a record, like a name of an album.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like blood on the dance floor. That's probably where I got it from. Was blood on
Yeah,
the dance
but
floor. Yeah.
yes. I'm excited to see the storyline implement. I can't talk.
Implementation. Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's late. It's even later for you.
Implication. The
Ah.
storyline outcomes rather than how the blood actually hits the canvas. I want to see where this takes the story outside, after this match.
No idea. I'm looking forward to whatever the fuck happens here. I have a feeling that, I mean, they're two good minds.
Yeah.
We're going to get a good match out of it. I just wonder if there's going to be any blow off or what. So one thing we didn't talk about Vandal 48 is there needs to be a counterbalance. Who's going to be the counterbalance? The problem is we never have counterbalances.
It always ends up being that the counterbalance to these factions is just
singles losses, picking them apart one by one.
It's just the the NJPW main unit. It's just the standing army. It's just Team GCW. I'm because there's New Japan was always a very faction based company, right?
Yeah.
And then the good guys were just always like just a random single one-off good guys were always just part of Team New Japan, and that same sort of thing happens in GCW. It's never, a good guy faction and a bad guy faction. It's always the bad guy faction versus Team Gage and GCW.
Right.
It's always the random faces who are the faces at the time. And that's what I see happening again here. I don't see a large scale face team coming in to fight them head on.
Yeah, you don't see a unified front that's like, you see more of like some people coming in and that's the unified front.
It was always, it's Gage and Effie and the tag team champs. That's who usually fights those battles. You would say in a previous life, you would say Second Gear Crew.
Yeah.
But we don't have that anymore. So.
Well, that's the thing. We've had quite a few major heel factions and heels in championship roles in the last year and a half or so, and that's why I said
we talked on the show, or
we did. That's my bad.
On other shows that are remarkably similar to this show, that it's just that there was just such heel fatigue in the company for the longest time.
So that's my concern. Here comes a heel faction. We have a GCW fan base that is kind of run down by, we have had so many unhappy endings or no endings at all to large matches that, so that was my only concern about Vandal 48 is that they just don't overdo that, because that's already been overdone. Go watch Deathmatch Royalties run with Mance. Mance had like 14 to 17 fucking no contests in his run. And so,
definitive heel finishes are different than just the fuck you run-in finishes.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. So then Juggalo asked about the clusterfuck battle and JCW. I'll touch on that right now, and then we'll get into the GCW battle. So regarding the clusterfuck battle royal, was the addition of JCW a last-minute addition, considering their lunacy show was canceled due to external factors? The only thing I know about that was that they were in the clusterfuck because they were trying to make sure they sell the fight between Team GCW and Team JCW. So the purpose of having them all come out together was to be that united front, which is why then there was a united front from GCW later. So this was basically to promote the upcoming show.
It was less Team GCW. It was more Team GCW UV division.
Oh, and they're so damn entertaining. We're going to get to that. I love the JCW roster. That's the problem here. I don't care who wins or loses. I know how it's probably going to go, but for Christ, dude, Mickey Knuckles is so fun to talk to personally. Too Tough Tony is the nicest of guys. He comes out, we got catchy music. He's pouring drinks in everyone's faces. That's so GCW. Mickey Knuckles is a real fucking outlaw. That's real GCW, not the safe candy ass GCW.
And if I haven't said it on this show before, I'll say it now. Brothers of Funstruction in the GCW tag division is such a needed shot in the arm, because the GCW tag division is so spread thin these days.
Boom. Boom, right
Other
there.
direction. Other direction, John. Other direction. Thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I'm okay.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
backwards. Could have been on my box. Oh well, whatever.
But yeah, so they were brought out as a unified front to kind of play up all of that. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but the energy level kicked up when they all came out purposely also. And again, I love them all. So for me, fantastic. I've got a picture with with it's Big F and Joe. He yelled abortion. He stuck a coat hanger into Mickey Knuckles' crack, we'll say. As she's bent over taking it.
I'm not here.
With a BBC dildo hanging out of her fucking mouth. My wife took a picture. It's like so family friendly, but honestly, that's beautiful. And that type of shit makes me laugh. I find that's no, seriously, that's more GCW than some of the GCW stuff we saw that night. You know what I mean? You go back 7-8 years, who's pulling out the dildo for fun? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, the wild stuff that's unexpected, that takes personality and intelligence, those are the things that are kind of fun. Mickey came out when JCW came out on the clusterfuck and started dry humping Sleepy Ed on the fucking mattress. Like, that shit's just funny.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on Brothers of Funstruction. I feel like they're disruptive and their type of personality fits the GCW aesthetic very well.
Even as, the outliers of what we consider to be the GCW mold for whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's just a matter of we haven't seen them enough times to be normalized to them. But I
hope that happens. I like them. I love them all.
I think that they're probably, because there's a couple of JCW, GCW crossovers that have been, on both sides of the fence before.
Yes.
But if anybody of this crossover, collaboration, whatever you want to call it, that stays after the fact, I want to see the Brothers of the Funstruction come in for a tag team match now and again. They're the wrestlers I want to see in the long term.
Again, they're disruptive. They're disruptive assholes. They can come in. They're colorful. They have a lot of fun things.
They wrestle in clown shoes. They literally wrestle in clown shoes.
And that message is being said by Clown.
I was ignoring that, but yeah, you said
it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so great one. This is kind of funny. He has 2 bottles. Pay attention to which one he uses for what things. It's pretty funny. And if you pay attention, I think there was a match with Murdoch where he accidentally opened and drank out of the wrong bottle, and you can see immediately that he did. So yeah, I love the Flaming Meteor. That is a badass move.
That is
one of my favorites.
The first time I saw that, and I didn't expect it, it's like, oh, that's the indie bullshit I want to see.
That's outlaw. That's what I feel. GCW is more encompassed by Too Tough Tony and Mickey Knuckles than I think people give them credit for. We need that wild. Where are the outlaws?
That's that old school Howl aesthetic that I think we're missing because we got kind of lulled into, more standard indie wrestling in the last couple years.
Kind of safer characters with safer kind of, we needed the Band-Aid ripped off, and I think that they were doing it. We need the wild. The wilder, the better. Also, I was thinking, if JCW can have Violent J at ringside, why isn't Violent Brett at ringside for GCW? I would give big money to see Violent B hit a destroyer on Violent J.
Because the reason being is because enough of us regulars know we have been Pavloved to the fact that if Brett's standing ringside, someone is on the brink of death.
Something went wrong or something. Yeah.
That's why. Because if we see Brett anywhere closer to the ring than the announce desk, something has gone terribly wrong.
I got the visual of Violent B and Violent J going ass over tea kettle for a destroyer.
Are we going to see Brett in clown paint for the war?
Oh no. Yes. Hey, he said he was kind of a juggalo back in the day. What happens if he gets bit with the bug again?
Look, we already have to deal with mittens and clown paint. Like
Violent B, I'm telling you. But watch out for Violent Brett. It's coming. Oh man. Anyway, I wrote here that I wish both companies were booked to bleed into each other more. I wanted more disruption from JCW. Creatively, I would have asked Violent J for a mask and some makeup. Over the next few shows, we find, quote unquote, that GCW wrestlers are getting beat up. Sometimes whoever does it leaves a clown mask, or someone gets beaten up and their face gets painted. Occasionally, a JCW graphic comes up on the screen like we're being trolled. On their side, maybe we destroy something, spray paint GCW on it, leave a shirt hanging in their locker room to let them know we're already here. That would have progressed storylines without booking one flight. These are easy things. I'm for higher creativity. That's what I would have done right there. Give me a couple shirts. Give me one shirt and some makeup. Give me the makeup you used. We could have just once a week disrupted something. And all I need is a shirt and some makeup. And I could have sold the shit out of that. A problem that I have with JCW, I said this earlier, the wrestlers are lovable and they have personality. I hope the partnership continues and I hope it remains strong. JCW wrestlers have a grit, toughness, and outlaw aspect to them that feels like old GCW. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but those were in my notes and Frankie was talking me into it. I say give them a spot at the collective. Why are they on the outside? There are no losers in this matchup. I feel like, every individual that participated in this, I love. So I'm looking forward to it.
Anybody with a brain is not going to be swayed to say like, oh, they lost this match. I don't like them anymore. This is just good, fun, stupid entertainment.
This is for the fans. Yeah, I hope people know that there's a lot of coordination between two companies to get this right. When you have one and now you got to deal with two heads to get something done. I mean, yeah, this is for the fans, man. Enjoy it for sure. I know I am. All right, then. Let's get into the last match of the night. We only went 2 hours and 20 minutes so far. So we're actually doing good on time. By the way,
by our standards, we're doing beautiful tonight.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I'll tell everyone right now, I was worried if we were going to get an hour in because this is one of our first ever preview shows. We don't do preview shows. It was one of these more, we talk about our opinions. I throw some numbers at you. We bullshit, boom, bang, done. But this is too fun and it's Tuesday night, man. I miss it too much. We're just now getting back into it. So, okay. Cage's survival match. We have a grudge match here. Ciclope versus Miedo Extremo. Again, Miedo would come back by throwing or disrupting, let's just say, Ciclope from doing his job inside the ring at Clusterfuck, was it? Yeah, Clusterfuck.
It was the one match. The one other match besides Clusterfuck, yeah.
Yeah, so that's that wasn't very nice. But yeah, I'm going to be really curious to see what goes on here because Ciclope has had major injuries, with cage matches in the past. And I think we all have seen a couple injuries that Ciclope has had.
When he fell through that entire classroom's worth of tables and chairs at the last, was it War Games?
That's the one.
Yeah, it was War Games.
That was the one. And he went through there and I'm just like, fuck. And that's just one. I've seen him dive off of so much shit. That dude is the Energizer Bunny. You just knock him over. He just gets back up.
Okay.
Man. Also, unless I'm wrong, the last time these two went one-on-one was June 2nd, 2019. Vanguardia's 10-year anniversary, an exploding barbed wire death match. If that's correct. But if it is, they haven't went one-on-one against each other in over 5 years. Thought that was a cool little tidbit. Ciclope and Miedo have somewhat of a long feud ongoing. Miedo has recently recovered from shoulder surgery and he's up and running again. Before Miedo left, he was mercilessly beating down Ciclope. He comes back at the collective and screws over his brother. Speaking of that match, when are we seeing Mike DeVecchio again? Does anybody remember his performance in that match?
Oh my God.
That's
the name I haven't thought of in 2 months.
Bro, I've been thinking about him ever since. As somebody who's a promoter, if I have money or the next time I go to Europe, he's on my show. If you can get Big F and Joe, you can get Mike DeVecchio.
Yeah.
There was an awesome hype video released on GCW's YouTube page that I hope they play before the match. Realistically, I think the world of these two guys, and I hope there's a happy ending because I believe in those. I'm hoping this puts their tag team back together so they can wreak a little more havoc over at GCW. One of my favorite tag teams at GCW of all time. My problem here, they've done everything at GCW. Yeah. So they would bolster the division. I'm worried they would overshadow Young, Dumb, and Price.
Yeah.
That's my concern.
It makes sense to put them back in the tag division just because they need warm bodies in the tag division. But like you said, they've done everything. They've 4-time tag champs. They've fought everyone under the sun. There's no other tag matches that they can do. Unless you're literally putting them back together as, and I hate to say it at this point, but as a nostalgia act tag team.
I hope not.
But
but I get it. I get it.
Like that's the only like logical storyline for them to run at this point.
At their age, do you feel they need to do the crazy shit they're doing?
Yeah. Like I don't want to.
Do they need to? You know.
I hate to say like, oh, they're a nostalgia act at this point, but like, what else? What other accomplishments do they need in this company as a tag team?
They just need to hold down the division, and if they do, they overshadow Young, Dumb, and Price.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they don't, but I mean, I feel like from a fan's perspective,
the logical thought is that they're just,
I feel like if GCW goes into a town, let's just say Phoenix, and there is a mature tag team there, there's probably a chance if you have Young, Dumb, and Price and Los Macisos on the same card, you probably give it to Los Macisos for the more, I don't want to say quality, but just what veterans do. Consistency is a great way to put it, but what veterans do. You know, they have a match where everything connects a little more fluid and can put on a more mature was the word I think I may have been looking for. Let's see. This is kind of interesting. I said, I'm waiting for the episode with Mo and Facade versus Effie and Janela. Yeah. JCW releases here. He said, this Thursday. So if you want to see the other side of the GCW JCW situation, you got to go over there and check it out. That is free on YouTube. So that's one of those things where you do not have to pay to check it out. Let's see here. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about that final match, Frankie?
No, it's the cage match is there. We're all there for the spectacle of it, but the story has been so light. The story has been so light between the two of them that we don't know what else to do there, but besides watch the car crash in motion as it occurs. And like, there's not much more of a angle after the fact, unless they pull some angle out of fucking nowhere during the match. Like, I can't think of anything else that would happen. Mute bug.
I was so good, dude. I was so good. I went 2.5 hours.
It's
okay. And I was the first. Wow, look at that.
First
Nobody
puck tonight.
We've been perfect till then.
Everybody drink.
That's a good idea. Did Miedo ever cut a promo that explained why? Do you remember any explanation whatsoever before the Miedo surgery?
I think there was a run-in in LA.
There was. I just don't remember if he said anything afterwards.
He could have, but I don't remember it. Or it could have been like one of those after the camera cut type things, and I just don't remember it. There's a lot of stuff we can consume, and I can't remember all of it. So,
dude, if I went and just looked at how many names have passed through the GCW ring this year, and it's only June, it's going to be hundreds.
Yeah,
it's hundreds. Last year, I think it was 500 and some names that me and Brant had to remember, and that's just GCW. It's like, yeah. So when somebody asked me about a match from 30 shows ago, well, I don't know about telling you anything about that.
Unless it's one of those barn burners, like a double dog collar or something like that. Like,
yeah. Okay, so this is kind of funny. I had that stupid idea about the winner has to take the laces off the person where there's a fight with shoes. Did you hear about that? I had a match. Yeah, I had that match stip where the winner is the one who takes the boots off the loser. It's like a great retirement match kind of thing.
Sure.
I was going somewhere with that. I can't remember what the hell I was going with. I had a stipulation. Oh, the stipulation was sorry about that, guys. It is late.
It was a double retirement. It was like a double loser leaves town type thing.
Yeah, it was just as a threat. But the other thing I thought of is, has there ever been a triple dog collar match where we have 3 people hooked up on one chain? And that would be stupid busy, but we did 4, but it was 2 and 2.
That's a lot of traffic to direct.
That's the thing though. You would have literally 3 cats with their tails tied together.
And when you
It might
have
be
those
too busy.
multi-man matches, it's they're always designed in such a way so that one guy can powder out while the other two go at it. But with a dog collar, you're literally removing that option entirely. So you'd have to have three guys with the greatest win
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. You'd be looking at like WCW 90s cruiserweight type shit.
You'd have to put
Mhm.
Murdoch. You'd have to put like Jordo.
Oh,
I
I
don't
see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know who else has the cardio to survive something like that right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought it was just a dumb idea, but yeah, with all three people, yeah, great one. That was my thought. Have a centerpiece and
Would it
then
be
1, 2, 3.
no, he's thinking two chains from each necklace going to two other people.
Yeah. For me, I'm thinking 3 people. I'm thinking just where all 3 chains meet in the middle and they have to just fight.
And I think Great
yeah.
One's saying each person has a chain to the other two people.
Oh shit. Could you imagine BB just like choking the shit out of each other constantly?
Yeah.
And okay, so we've seen this 100 times, especially in dog collar matches. There's a lot of dancing going on to avoid the chain while they try to get their moves in and shit. So I'm sure it would be a mess. I believe that was the wrap up for GCW's Cage of Survival 4. That again, that'll be the terminal at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Was there anything else you wanted to say before we get into those upcoming shows?
I mean, I was going to talk about the show that's literally happening Thursday after TOS, which is going to be a JCW show. But I
You know
think
what?
that
Yeah, we can talk about that. I just have to pull up the card real quick. It might just take me a second. Outside of that, though, I mean, yeah, we can just gab about it for just a second if you want to. Here, let me see.
because this has been promoted as For the Sickos by the Sickos at this show called Rec Arts Pro Wrestling. And there are some weird matchups. We have that other JCW title match that we were talking about before. Masha versus Matt Mako. Price
It's going
and
to be a good
Oliver.
wrestling match.
That'll be a fun like mat based match. I think. We have a 6-way women's scramble, which is those are a lot of names there. Ava Everett, Janai Kai, Becca, Gypsy Mac, Zeta, and Nixie XS. And then we have a rematch from May Flowers with Tremont and Bam versus Mad Dog and Beastman. And then Warhorse versus Charles Mason. What?
For some reason, I feel like they're familiar with each other. Am I wrong?
Beats me. Unless someone in the chat can come up on that.
Well, I'm thinking maybe they had a little history of House of Glory, but I'm not 100% sure.
They might have. I'm not up on House of Glory. Forgive me.
But I'd have to look at that. Well, the show looks good here.
That's a very Ridgefield Park show.
It feels very JCW, doesn't it? Like some of the people out here, like it just feels 2 years ago JCW. I like that though, because that's consistency. You know what I mean? So here's the other thing that's getting me, and again, this is personal opinion, and it actually isn't anything negative, but I really was hoping that Price and Oliver would come up with like a better team name. I don't know what they'd choose though, because
shitty tag team names is just the hallmark of throw togethers at GCW. Like
that's true. But you know what I mean though? I mean, it does fit, but I feel like it doesn't encompass them fully.
Yeah,
East West Express kind of had this name, like made you feel like you were moving, like you were.
That felt like an actual tag team name.
It felt busy. So I don't know. By the way, yeah, Great One said the matching gear, which was awesome. And yeah, Cole and Price never really kicked off like they would. I was really hoping they were going to sell hockey jerseys with their names on the back. I would have totally bought one. They would have made good money. Hockey jerseys are expensive. They could have done them by order. It would have been badass. So I think there's some money there that could have been made. But we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, Crow said, I don't really like the name either. I just feel like it's not catchy. I feel like it was thrown together maybe too soon. I don't know.
Literally, Price and Oliver is it's a fine, like, just calling them Price and Oliver is fine to me, but
Yeah.
at least it's not like old,
Ace Beast.
2010 or it's not like old 2010s WWE where it was Team Pun and like
yeah.
like Team Hell No or all that bullshit.
With Marky Cole and Kevin Crater or something like it's like the generic names and a generic team and
Team Blank. At least it's not that,
Yeah. Want me to hit the upcoming shows and we'll wrap her up?
I think we're just rambling at this point, and that's saying
good.
something for us.
Yeah, that's true. Also, we're at the 2.5 hour mark. I was going to tell everybody just for fun. We're supposed to do about an hour. We average 2 hours and 57 minutes a show. So I just wanted to let you know it's all love. All right, so let's do the upcoming shows real quick and we'll wrap up and get the hell out of here. So here we go. Saturday, June 7th, GCW's Tournament of Survival 10 from the Terminal at Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This will be live on Triller TV Plus at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Later that night is the GCW Deathmatch Hall of Fame, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. The next day, Sunday, June 8th, GCW's Cage of Survival 4 from the Terminal at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This will be live on Triller TV Plus at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Again, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you want notified when we go live next time. We do prefer you watch live on YouTube. This is the best place for interaction. Super chats are available. And I forgot to let everyone know who does listen audio only that within about 24 to 48 hours, we will have all broadcasts up on Spotify and Apple Music. So we do have those available. You can find Frankie on Twitter at Frankie_GC World. And you can find me on Twitter at GC World Podcast. Follow GCW on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Head to longlivegcw.com to check out GCW's official website. Go to gcwmerch.com if you want new shirts, hats, hoodies, pin stickers, and more. I actually just posted a day for you guys with bigger heads. Snapbacks are back on the hat rack. Check out GCW on Patreon. We have a podcast with Brett called The History of GCW, where we dive back into a GCW show from years ago and discuss never before told stories from that night with Brett. As always, thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us. These are special nights together, and we are thankful for you. We will be seeing you next week. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you, Dr. Redacted, for coming on. Dude, appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for being here on the dime like that.
Always a pleasure. I will be here as often as you need me. So
it's a family. It's a family. And tonight you stopped in. I love it, man. All right. So I'll just go ahead and say it as always. Frankie, long
live GC. We'll never get it right. Good night, everybody.
W. Good night, everyone. Boom, boom, and boom.